Hello.
Hello, everybody.
Hi.
There's always a
Hi.
one I had to get on my channel. To see the live. There we go. We are here to talk about historical romances.
Woohoo!
Which I'm very excited for. Anytime we do our book club live, we always talk about historical
We
romances.
end up, yeah.
Figured we would do a live dedicated to it. So we will go ahead and go around and introduce ourselves and talk about the historical romance we are currently reading or just finished reading. And I see Bree in the comments. Hi, Bree. Glad you could make
Hi,
it.
Bree.
We will go ahead and start with Lacey.
Oh, okay. I just finished today Night Song by Beverly Jenkins. This was actually her first published book ever. So it was interesting. I gave it 3 stars. I didn't love it. But it was interesting. I liked it, but I didn't love it. It's not a new favorite. But I also, yes, the one with the mustache.
He had no mustache.
Oh no, that's the one without it. Yeah.
But in it, she's really attracted to his mustache, which
it's mentioned every single chapter.
I don't know about that.
Yeah.
I didn't know that was the new cover though.
Yeah, me either.
I know. I saw you post the original cover, right?
Mhm.
Earlier on Instagram. I was like, oh, there's the mustache. That's what it's supposed to look like.
Have you seen the original cover of Indigo?
I think I have.
No, I don't think
I don't remember it.
I want
But
it.
I want it.
But
that's not surprising.
I love Beverly Jenkins. So
me too.
All right, Alexa.
Hi, everybody. I'm Alexa. The last historical romance I read was actually a reread because I was going through the entire Bridgerton series because of the Netflix series that's coming. So I made it all the way to book, I have to count them in my head, book 7, which is It's in His Kiss. Do you want to know who it's about? Because technically it's sort of a spoiler, kind of, about which sibling it is. But yeah, it was great. It's one of my favorites in the series, and it still is. And that was great after coming off of book 6, which is my least favorite. It's the one I have the most problems with in that series, and I think it's the one that deters most people from reading 7 and 8, which is a shame because 7 and 8 are so good. So that's the last one I read, and then I'm going to be reading book 8, which is exciting. Oh no, we lost Samantha.
Oh, Samantha.
Samantha, where'd you go?
Insert Olaf saying Samantha.
How many books are in that series?
8. So I'm almost
8,
done.
yeah.
I've been rereading them since the start of the year, which
There
is
were 8 of them.
yeah. There's one for every single sibling in the series.
It's a big family.
It's a huge family.
A big ass family. Oh,
But let's just roll with it.
It's after 3 minutes, Lisa.
It's a description word. Come on, guys. It's a little crass, but I don't think it's a swear word.
Someone has the original Indigo cover.
Oh my gosh.
Online. So
Ooh.
I have that on my watch.
Older stuff.
I hope it pops up.
Wait, let me try to look what it looks like. But yeah, I agree. She said that Night Song, you can tell it's her first book. Yeah, you can definitely tell.
It's her first?
Yeah.
Good to know.
Mine's like the floppy one though. I love those.
Me too.
I don't have to worry about cracking the spine. All right. Lisa. Hopefully Samantha can come back on. You're next.
Okay, so the last book I read was a Lorraine Heath book that I just finished this morning. It's called Lord of Wicked Intentions, and it's the last book in the series of the Lost Dukes of Pembroke or something like that. And I love Lorraine Heath. It's my new historical romance author that I love. So what happened was I actually tried to finish the Bridgerton series, and it was my first time reading it, and I am on It's His Kiss, so just like you, Alexa.
Okay.
But the problem is just that I don't like the series as much as you do, unfortunately.
Which is okay. I can see why it might not always work for everyone.
Yeah, so I just took a break and I just started reading Lorraine Heath, and I was going to do a Julia Quinn video on my BookTube channel so that I could talk about the whole Bridgerton series. But I don't know if I'm actually going to finish the series, so it's just going to be half finished. But yeah, I'll try my best. But
2 more books. You're almost there.
I'm almost there, but so far away. So
That's fair.
900 pages. Yeah.
Does she have a lot of other books, or does she primarily write in the Bridgerton series?
She
That's
has
a lot.
I want to say she has two series that are sort of in the same world, but about non-Bridgertons, and then there's one that's about Bridgertons, which is her current one.
And then
I
the
read
Bridgerton
her
spin-off
prequel
too.
series.
Yeah.
I read her prequel series, the Roxby series, or
Yeah.
The
yeah, I read
Roxby.
that series.
That's the one that she's currently publishing, I want to say.
Yeah.
Oh,
Which is
I haven't read any of hers, so
The way I pitch them to most people is they're historical romantic comedies, except that the earlier Bridgerton books, if I weren't nostalgic about them, I probably would have a lot. I would have a lot to say about lots of things that happen. I think Lisa would probably know what I mean, because there's so much that happens in that original series that you're kind of like, but why?
it's like good, but then you also have to realize that nothing happens, and then you're just like, okay, nothing's happening.
That was my problem with the series.
But you see the two
too.
characters together, and then they're super cute, and then they're in love, and then you're just like, okay, yeah, like I get it. So like my favorites are like Discount Who Loves Me and Sir Philip with Love. Those two are my favorites.
That one is a really good one. It's Famous Kiss actually has a better plot than most of them.
Okay, so yeah.
So plot-wise, that one actually is more interesting than some of the others, because I don't know if she just got the idea that she should have more of a plot in her books.
Yeah.
That one definitely has a better plot.
Okay, fine. I'll try.
Me talking you into reading the rest of it.
I skip around because I'm so like bored.
What?
Like I'm trying to
like,
with
I want to skip
Bridgertons. Yeah, like I had to skip around because like one of the books I was just not interested in reading. So
6 is the worst one, and I will happily say it, even though I love the series as a whole. 6 is the worst. Like it's
which one's the sixth one?
The one about Francesca and Michael, the second chance thing where she was married to his cousin, and then the cousin dies, and then things happen.
Was it when he was wicked?
Yes, I hate that. That's the one I don't like. I don't like that book.
It was weird. It was weird.
So bad. Anyway, sorry. It should be Desiree's turn now. Enough of my Bridgerton.
We'll come back to Julia Quinn. Go ahead, Desiree.
Okay, so hi guys, my name's Desiree, and I have an Instagram account called Genki Reader, which is GENKI, and then Reader, all one word. The last historical I read was The Secret by Julie Garwood, which was great.
We will definitely talk about.
Yeah.
Mine too.
I didn't get mine.
I just have an ebook, but I'm jealous of that cover.
Oh, God.
Yeah, she's just like,
and I think the one I'm reading right now, it's also a Lorraine Heath that Lisa loves, Lorraine Heath. I think it's called Texas Glory. All the titles are similar, so I'm not sure which one it is, but it's book 2. I should have started with book 1 because there's all these things that are happening that I don't know why they're happening. And I've been 60% in for like 2 weeks. Not sure if I'll finish.
what's the name called?
Okay.
What's the name called?
Texas Glory. I think
it's Western historical.
Yeah, it's a Western.
Cowboys.
Yeah, it looks like it's called Texas Glory. I just looked it up.
Called the Texas Trilogy.
Yeah.
Westerns are hard for me. Like when I'm reading historical romance, those are the ones where I
only like Beverly Jenkins. That's it.
I've
been meaning to ask, why do you guys not like Westerns? I've been so curious about that one.
I don't like America.
I'm trying to think of why I don't like. Maybe it's just because I haven't read one where the story was not that I think that it shouldn't be centered around being on a ranch or the gold rush, because it should, obviously. But like sometimes it gets a little too much for me. Or the ones I've tried anyway, which were like, to be fair, that was like ages ago. So maybe I will try. Do you have one you'd actually recommend, Desiree? Is there one that you like really like?
No. So like I've read a bunch of Westerns, but they were all Christian fiction, and honestly, there was a lot of racist themes, and I would not recommend any of them. I just don't have a problem reading Westerns. I think they're interesting. I like cowboys, so I'm just all about it.
That's fair.
I've never actually like read that many Western like historicals. I read more modern cowboys. But I mean, someone recommended Angel by Johanna Lindsey like that series is one of her Western series.
Oh.
And a couple of people said it was one of their favorite Johanna Lindsey, so I really want to try that one.
I have all of these.
Yeah, I know. I have mine
It's super
upstairs.
Western. Look at that step back.
Oh, it's beautiful.
Yeah.
Oh, I like that. Maybe I'll try that one then. Because,
Love that.
you know, why not?
Yeah.
I personally just don't care about cowboys and like and like horses. Like I don't care. So like that's why I don't find it attractive. So I'm just like, eh. It's just like a hero that you don't find attractive, so that you just can't get into the story. But I'm gonna try.
Yeah, same.
Okay.
I'll try one now.
I love Tesla Sue. Bound for Sin. That one had like the best grumpy hero ever. I loved it.
I told you I was going to read that like months ago, and I never did.
What, Jessica?
I thought you did. Did you not like the second one? Wasn't there one in that series you didn't like?
I only read one of them.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was book 2 that I loved. The only one that I read.
Skipped book 1.
Yeah, I did.
Okay.
Now,
I mean, that's what I typically do. I never read these historical romances in order because I just like a certain story, and then
makes sense. I mean, you could always go back.
yeah.
Like,
Well, then someone got really mad at me because I read the Bare Knuckle Bastard series out of order, and someone was like, "You need to read book 1," and I'm like, "I mean, I read book 2."
Of all series, that series you don't need to read in order.
No, and I just read the
I
first
mean,
one.
like,
And I was like, I just
the first two are like almost interchangeable. So
good to know. I haven't read them yet.
Better than book 2, so I just listened to it like 2 days ago. But I just finished a Joanna Shute book.
yes,
I love the cover of that one.
Good. It was so good. This is the Rogue of Fifth Avenue. Book 3 comes out at the end of the month, so I had an arc of that, so I figured I should at least like read book 1 before going to book 3. But it's in America, but it's in New York, so it's not Western.
Yeah, it's Gilded Age.
Yeah.
Still a bit of Western.
I filmed a reading vlog, so it's going up tomorrow, but his name's Frank. And I tweeted about this. I have an uncle.
I saw that.
And I was just like, I can't do this right now because my uncle's like 65 and like, no.
You're like, no.
But I've never read a romance with my brother, my dad, or any of my uncle's names or my cousin's name. I've never read. Have?
Oh.
Is it
times.
so weird?
I mean, after a while, it's like whatever.
Yeah.
But like, I talked with Sarah about that book, and we both just don't like the name Frank for a hero in general. You know, it's not.
It doesn't know any other Franks other than.
Yeah, I know.
So.
But I'm so happy you read it. Now you need to read book 2.
I have
They're like my favorite new historical romance series this year.
Good to know. Good. I still haven't read the first one. I have it. I just haven't read it.
And the ending didn't go on too long. Like I read this Earl of Mine. Let me get it. This one by Chris. I really liked it, but like the last 30 pages were totally unnecessary. I'm like, okay, like why are we continuing this story?
Was it very epilogue-y?
Yes. I'd rather have more epilogue than not enough epilogue, though.
I don't need
like
I don't need
I love
epilogues, but if they're too short, I'm just like, why did you even give me one?
I know. Like I finished Jerry Thomas Beguiling the Beauty last month, and I loved it except for the ending because it ends so abruptly. It's like they just get together, and then I'm like, but I want to see you guys happy together.
I love that.
You know?
That actually makes me happy.
Yeah.
I love when Jess is on her channel. She's like, there's all this epilogue. I really didn't need it. And I'm like, I want 5 epilogues. Give it to me.
Agreed.
I Riley feels the same way.
Like, I want an epilogue where I see them get together, have a baby, and like they're old, they're still in love, and then you're just like, yes. And then the other
need to be married with a baby, but just like being together and happy.
There is one where they got a puppy in the epilogue, and I was like, I am here for this.
That is the thing that will get you.
Yes.
I do love a good epilogue.
It's like, okay, now they're getting married.
I don't like it when it happens too early in the book, though. Like, it's not the epilogue, and it happens already. And like you were saying, just like 30 pages of that, and then nothing. I need it. I actually prefer it as an epilogue. Like, it's a weird thing.
Someone asked favorite Tessa Dare, right?
Week to be wicked.
Yeah, someone asked Tessa Dare. What'd you say?
A Week to be Wicked is my favorite Tessa Dare book.
I don't think I've heard of that one.
It's part of Spindle Cove. I think it's book.
Oh, I still need to read that series.
Wait, what's it called?
I did not read that.
A Week to be Wicked.
Oh, yes.
It's the second book, I think.
Oh, I've seen that cover.
Yeah, it's basically a road trip story, which I love. And the girl's she's really intelligent. The story is that she's really intelligent. She has this presentation that she wants to do, and she needs a way to get there from Spindle Cove. And so she ends up getting a ride from the guy she eventually falls in love with, which is great. And it's great. I love that book so much because it made me laugh a lot. That's why. Her books are always really good on the humor.
They're very rom-com-y.
Yeah,
like
so
Julia
fun.
Quinn. Yeah,
and her heroines are great. Like I enjoy her heroines in general.
My favorite is When a Scot Ties the Knot.
I need to read that.
I haven't read that one either.
It's so good. I love it. It's like the cutest premise. She is, I don't remember why, but she's writing to this fake pretend fiance. She makes up a name and sends it out into the world, and turns out the guy actually is real, like has the same name as her fake fiance, made up fiance, and he arrives at her house and is like, "Hey, babe, what's up?"
I need your land.
Yeah,
Let's get together. I need your land.
Which book or which series is?
I was about to ask the same
in?
The Castle
Ever After.
Oh, okay.
I haven't even read the rest of the series. I
read
got it as an art.
I'll say yes to more quests.
I read the first one and I really liked it too.
I've only read 2 Tessa Dares, and it's The Governess Game and the second one after that. I only like The Governess Game. I didn't really like the second one as much.
Is the one
that's Lisa's favorite.
Is that the pet one? The one that she has lots of animals?
It's the Governess, the children
I
one.
mixed it up. The Duchess Deal is my favorite. The Governess Game I didn't like as much. I like the Duchess Deal.
Oh yeah, okay. The Duchess Deal is the one with the wedding dress.
Yes.
Right? Okay.
Yeah.
I haven't read the second one. I've only read the first one, which is really fun. It was cute. But I read it right after reading the first Castles Ever After book.
She's back. She's back.
Hi. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
That's okay. We're glad you're back.
Okay.
Do you want to do your intro?
Oh, yeah, sure. My name is Samantha. Folks with Samantha on everything, YouTube, Instagram, Twitter. Even though I don't use Twitter that much, it's drama most of the time. What else? You guys talked about the historical romances you're reading right now, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Okay, I'm reading Gentle Rogue by Johanna Lindsey.
Ooh.
I only have like maybe 3 more chapters left. I'm liking it so far. I'm reading a bunch of Johanna Lindsey's for like a video I'm filming because I had never read a Johanna Lindsey before. So I'm reading like her most popular books, and this one's really good. It has like a pirate, which I love.
Oh, me too. I have a soft spot for pirates in historical romance.
Wait, is Gentle Rogue my favorite, Lacey, or which one?
No, it's not.
Oh,
It's not. Your favorite is book
I don't know
5.
which one my favorite is, but Lacey does. Which one?
I know. I like how Lacey's the one who's keeping track.
Yeah. Lacey, which one's my favorite?
Book 5, I think it's called Say You Love Me.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Sure. Okay. We'll go.
I read this one, and then I read the one that you guys read for the historical readathon.
Hard to play.
Hearts of
It's
Flame.
so
Hearts
good.
of Flame. Hearts
I
of Flame.
haven't read it yet, but
Yeah.
I want to.
No, it's so good.
It's really
It
good.
is, yeah.
Have you guys read the first book in that series, The Fires of Winter?
No.
No.
Trash.
Such
trash.
It was bad.
Oh no.
Isn't it the same? It's like her parents' story, right?
Yeah.
It's her parents' story, but like it's just the female heroine is so stubborn, and there's like this blurred consent thing that I wasn't
I
about.
don't like that. No.
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
Mm-mm. Trash.
I mean, I go into her books knowing there's probably going to be some of that.
Yeah.
Because they're old.
Yeah.
Was it
Yeah.
boring?
Yeah.
Was it boring?
No, I mean it was just so outlandish. Like the second book I gave a 4-star. I loved that one. And then the first book, it was just the heroine was so stubborn. Like everything she did was just she was so stubborn.
Oh, sometimes that can be annoying.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That makes sense.
Also, in case anybody wants, everybody's linked down below. So everyone's channel and Desiree's Instagram. Though Bree says Desiree needs a YouTube channel, so
Yeah.
I think you should do it.
we need more.
You know, I've thought about it so many times, and I used to have a fandom channel when I was in high school for idols and J-pop and things, but then YouTube took me down because of copyright, and now I'm just too camera shy.
They did you dirty.
They did.
You just wanted to live without the copyright.
Japan copyrights everything, so that was
It's
my
like,
fault,
if
and I
you're
was
not
like,
making
18.
money off of it. You
I
know,
thought it was
I'm not. What was your question?
I thought it was fine if you didn't make money. Like,
Right.
Yeah, I thought so too.
No, Japan is just like, you have any of our stuff up, take it down.
Oh,
It's so weird.
I guess like a different country. It's different.
Yeah.
So that's still
Yeah.
weird though.
Yeah.
Strange.
and I also was pronouncing your Instagram wrong. I thought it was Genki. But it's
Yeah, I thought I would say it because I know nobody knows how to say it. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Japanese.
Yeah. All right. Any questions people have? I have a list of questions I could ask.
It's impossible to find J-pop on YouTube. Desiree.
yeah, it's not there. You're just gonna have to ask me.
It's not there.
You'll hook us up. What is?
Well, my question, I think that I'm interested to know is, do you guys like cracked spines? I know Samantha likes to do that with her covers.
It
Her
hurts me
covers. I'm like,
so
what are
much.
you doing?
I was like, I think I have a cracked spine right here.
All the step back Saturdays where you have it completely open. I'm like,
Lisa, I can't watch.
Please stop.
It's hurting me.
Mine's because I'm cheap and I only buy books at the used bookstore and they're all cracked.
I like
So-
buying cracked spines. I don't like doing it myself.
yeah.
I like
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
no, I don't.
Like they all match now. If you crack all the spines and you're getting cracked
Oh my
spines,
God.
then they'll match.
That's
It shows you love them. It shows you love them.
That's true.
sometimes you can't read it unless you crack it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
Like I
It's
don't
like
get it.
uncomfortable. It's uncomfortable to hold a new book. I feel like I have to be so precise.
I didn't crack it. I read the whole thing and I didn't crack
Yeah.
it.
It's
That-
doable,
that-
guys.
That's a skill though.
That's how you hold it. You hold it like this.
Literally,
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
I can't do
I
that.
like
Read.
send it
Like,
all the way back.
really
All
bad.
the way back.
Oh, I can't do it like that. I will crack the spine, but I can't fold it over.
Cracked spines. It's already cracked. Then I
Yeah,
can.
like I won't complain if I buy a used book for
Right.
$1 and it's
And it's
already
cracked.
cracked.
I'm gonna grab a book. Excuse me, standing up on my bed.
Okay.
Go for
You're
it.
fine.
I
Do
like
you
when
bend the
books
pages?
sound old.
Bend
do
the
you mean?
pages?
No.
Dog ear your pages?
Oh,
Yeah.
no.
Yeah.
I will do it with some books. It depends on what the book is.
Oh.
I don't think
yeah.
I've ever dog-eared a page since elementary school.
I don't
If it's
care about it.
brand new and I paid like $25 for it, then I'm
Yeah.
not gonna bend
Same.
the page. But if it's like $15, then yeah, maybe I'll bend it.
Just a little, and it's like tiny. It's not like fold half the page or
Yeah,
anything.
I'm not
Oh,
gonna
Teeny tiny
no.
part.
like, hot dog it like in there. Like,
You know how I know people who actually do that, where they like take the page, they'll fold it in half so that you can see. And I'm like, why? Why do you need to do that? Like, it's bad
That
enough if you
hurts.
fold the corner, but like if you fold the half the page in, I'm like, that's not helpful to anyone.
I mean,
No,
I'll
I
just
only
grab
dog ear my
whatever
pages.
close to me, stick it in there.
I
I'll
get
put my
late.
phone in my book before I will.
Yeah, exactly.
I have bookmarks. I just don't use them.
I know. I
Yeah.
always forget to use them. You know, convenient.
you have to like get up and you have to go look for one. It's just like
That's why you just grab whatever's next to you.
Or I'll look at the page number and memorize it, and then I'll.
oh,
That-
like,
that
Oh,
is
that's too
fair.
much. That's a
That's
lot.
too hard.
That's weird. That's too far.
Like, the dogs eat out. I'm like, oh, I'm on page 99. Okay, and then I put it down.
I would never remember. I'd be like,
Me
what
either.
page was I on again?
No.
I
And then
I
follow.
used to have like those magnetic ones on the sheet in my purse, and then I would just whip it out whenever I was out in public with a book, and I would have the
Mhm.
magnetic bookmark.
Yeah,
That's nice.
those are nice too.
Aren't they heavy?
Those are my favorites. No, they're like
No, they're super light.
They're so small.
these.
Yeah, they're
They're
tiny.
super tiny. I don't know if.
Yeah.
There you go.
Wow.
Oh, those are so
They're
cute.
like kitchen magnets, like the ones that go on your refrigerator, sorta.
Yeah, I like those if I remember to use them, which I never do.
Which is why it's by my bed. So I don't have to
So you have no excuse.
Smart.
Yeah.
Okay, Bree asked if we read The Madness of Lord Ian Mackenzie.
I really want to read
halfway.
I have.
I read half.
Okay.
Is that Jennifer?
I love it.
Thought?
You said you really liked it?
Yes.
Me or
Were you
Lacey?
Oh, both of you read it. Sorry, I thought Lacey said she read it.
I mean, yeah, I loved it. I binged like the first 4 books in the series, which were about 4 brothers, 4 Scottish brothers.
love that already.
Yeah, the first one deals with like mental illness because the hero, it's never outright said because they don't like know about autism back then, I guess. So, but like we as readers can interpret that he's autistic. But I love that book. It's like so sweet, and he's such an alpha. I love Ian.
The half that I read, because I read half of the book for historical romance readathon, I really liked, but I didn't like the audiobook for it. It just wasn't working for me. I felt like at that time I wasn't in the mood for something that was extra steamy, which I know that sounds weird to some people, but it made it feel more steamy than I wanted it. So I just figured I would finish reading it physically later. But it's a really good book. Like, she writes him so well. The way she describes his autistic characteristics, on point. It's so good.
Yeah, I love it.
I don't know what Lisa's doing.
I'm wearing pajama shorts.
Oh, me too, Lisa. Me too.
Yeah,
I know, but never show my legs and
Yeah.
I tried to not show my legs. That's what I was trying
Just
not
get
to
ready
do.
up top.
They're all over your Instagram.
Yeah, but like, those are pose. This is like my booty shorts that nobody wants to see. Like,
oh, stop.
PG.
I will say that Ian Mackenzie, everyone recommends that to me whenever I talk about historical side. Is it Jennifer Ashley? Is that the author?
Yeah, the Mackenzie series by Jennifer Ashley.
Okay.
That's what Melissa, I think you're asking.
I'm going to have to add it.
I know, I just did that while we were talking about it. I'm like, yes, I'm going to put that on my list.
The Goodreads shelf, yeah.
I
love all the Lisa Kleypas love.
I know, everyone is screaming about Lisa Kleypas in this chat,
I mean,
which,
we
like,
all love her.
good reason. She's great. I know, me too.
Riley asks our favorite historical romance tropes. And we can say books like with those tropes if we want to or not.
What would I say my favorite is?
Yeah, that's hard.
That is
I
hard.
really think about that.
I like the ones where the guy saves the girl
Oh,
from
that's a good
something.
one.
From something.
Yeah.
Danger, a stalker,
Ruin.
being auctioned off to be ruined, being captured. I like that danger, like the action.
Damsel in distress.
That's fun. That can be really fun.
Yeah.
Have you read
It's
any
like-
Lindsay
it's more
Sands
likable
books, Lisa?
In historical.
I read Love is Blind, which is not that, which is not like action, but it was so cute though, and I really liked it.
Yeah, because Lindsay Sands is known for her heroines always being in danger, and then like some type of the guy has to come save her from something.
But why
I
don't
know
you do that? Like does she do it well? Because I read authors that do it well.
I wasn't a fan of it personally, but I had a friend on Instagram who really, really liked them. I just felt like they dragged for me, but it depends on your taste. I feel like our tastes aren't always lining up when I read your reviews, and I'm like, I read it and I thought it was really good. So I don't know.
Everyone's
You're not
like
the only one.
always
Everybody
opposite.
has 9 books that I like. So
Yeah.
so yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
I
the author
yeah.
as well as Elise Bradley.
Miss Bradley.
Nobody has heard of her. But it's fine. It's fine. Okay.
Ooh, I'm trying to think of which. I think I sometimes love, well, not sometimes, I mostly love Marriages of Convenience if they're done well. Like, I just enjoy it. And I also enjoy Reformed Drakes. That's my other, like, I fucking, I just did it. Hold on. I feel very, very strongly about Reformed Drakes.
Yes.
I don't even know if Lisa heard me say it.
No, I didn't hear what you said. What'd you say?
Nothing.
I broke the swearing rule.
Did she swear?
Yep.
I did. I broke the swearing rule. But you know what? You know what made me think of what my favorite tropes were? Double in Winter, because that was my favorite Lisa Kleypas.
Mhm.
You're
historical
literally
romance.
reading my mind. I was
Right?
just gonna say
It's
that.
like the
That book is so good.
classic,
Passion.
iconic.
It's both things at the same time. And
Yeah,
it's great.
reformed rake.
Oh,
Yeah.
I love him.
That's exactly what I was gonna say. So I copy your answer.
So basically, we have the same taste, which I think is great.
I'm gonna grab my book to talk about mine. Mine's The Damaged Hero and a Scarred
that's a good
Hero.
one, too.
I love The Highwayman. I love all of Kerrigan Burns' books. She has a lot of damaged heroes. in
Yeah.
this series.
They're like darker. than-
Yes.
Almost like
They're-
hero.
Yeah.
I will read that eventually. It's on my TBR. Everyone says it's amazing.
Right.
Yeah, I've heard nothing but
Yeah.
good things about that one.
The audiobook is fantastic. I love that audiobook.
Cool.
Okay, maybe I'll try the audiobook then, because
The guy's
I really
voice
need
is
to read it.
very, very good.
I think
I have
my
an audio-
favorite trope is either a scarred hero or marriage of
Oh,
convenience.
yes.
That's
And my
good, too.
overall favorite trope for everything, not just historical, is a sweethearted stoic. Like he just turns out to be
Mhm.
really sweet, but he has
Oh,
like
yeah.
zero emotions on the outside.
I love that.
Those are my
description.
favorite.
He's sweet with her.
Yes.
Oh, yes. That's the best way to put it yet.
Mhm.
Did you read How to Love a Duke in 10 Days, Jessica?
Mhm.
Yeah, that one's
Yeah.
good too. That one, he's a scarred
Two?
hero too, no?
What?
He's a scarred hero too, right?
I think.
I think.
I think
Ah.
he might. Oh yeah. He went. He
remember.
got scratched by a tiger. Yes.
Yeah.
I remember.
Wow.
I was
I
reading
do
the
not
second
remember
book.
that.
I was reading the second book, which I
But
love.
that's a marriage of convenience, right? Because they went on their honeymoon.
That is a marriage of convenience, yeah. And a
Yeah.
scarred hero.
Yeah.
Yeah, so many things I like in that book.
Lacey
already.
read book too, so
Yeah,
Right.
I loved it so much. Oh, so good. That
Is it
one also like a stoic cinnamon roll.
Okay, I'm gonna have to write that
Yeah.
down.
I know, me too. I was like, wait.
What is it even called? Scott. A Scott.
Scott.
It's some
I
kind.
have it somewhere. I have it somewhere on the shelf, but I mean,
All Scott and bothered.
oh, okay.
Oh,
I love that title.
Yeah.
Oh, I see it.
I've been reading
Yeah,
the
he's a gigantic Scottish guy.
other series out of order.
And
What?
he's
I
like,
need to read more Scottish romances. I haven't read a
Heard
lot.
Best.
I don't think I've read any actually. No, I haven't.
Read when Scott
A
has
Scottish?
not.
There's so many you could read. My brain just went, hold on.
Okay, so for me personally, I don't like Scottish like accents, so it's like hard to read.
You
But
don't
then
like
out-
Scottish accents?
No, but then I went on TikTok and then I saw some hot guys with some Scottish accents.
You
I think
should
I'm
watch
good.
Outlander, Lisa.
Yeah.
You should watch Outlander. And then you'll change your mind.
So many seasons. Goodbye.
I mean, just the first episode is fine.
It's so good.
change your life.
I didn't know, isn't this
Or the worse.
yeah.
because You're addicted.
Judith McNaught has Scottish romances.
Yes, she does.
So in this one, it's Kingdom of Dreams. He
Oh, I
like
have that one.
kidnaps her.
Oh, I didn't know he was Scottish.
Yes.
I bought that
Not
book
above
because of your video, but I haven't read it yet.
It's so good. I really like this. And Julie Garwood is Scottish too.
Oh, I have
read
her
the
too.
secret. Read the secret. Just do it
Okay.
already
Oh,
because it's so
Alexa, I
good.
finished Ransom.
Did you
Oh,
like
how was it?
I liked it. I give it like 4 stars. It's not. I didn't
'Cause
love
I
it as
feel-
much as The Secret.
I was gonna say, I feel like with that duology, you either really like the first one or you really like the second one. So
Yeah.
a lot of people I know like the first one. I like the
feel
second one just
the
a
sequel
little
was
more.
Second.
I have a lot of feelings about that second book.
Yeah, I know.
No, listen, this is how I've had that book for years because my mom had it first. So I stole it when I was like, not stole it, I borrowed it when I was like 13. And then I stole it officially when I came to the United States because I was like, I'm going to take it with me. Do you want to see how battered it is? Because this is how many times it's been read and reread by me, my sisters, my mom, a couple of other people. like the spine is falling apart and like
Oh.
pages are coming loose because we love it that much.
Wait, what is the cover look
Something
like?
passed down.
Oh, my cover is just like the gate. This is the same thing that's on the hard cover of it, I want to say. If I can, I don't even know
They
if it's...
didn't have a pretty cover.
Yeah.
I know! They didn't have a matching
annoying.
one. You know what they have a matching one for? The other series.
Yeah,
There's a
they
book-
have matching
yeah,
ones for like standalones,
which
and,
is like
other
weird.
series.
Which the other series that has the matching covers to The Secret is also really good.
Okay.
I also
Need to
really
read
love that series. I forgot what it's called. What is it called?
Lacey had some of them, don't you?
Mhm.
Yeah, the first one's Crown Spies, that series. I quite enjoyed
Oh, yeah.
that.
It's annoying though because like this is shiny, but then they also have versions that aren't shiny. So like
Yeah.
I found a couple at half
Mine
price.
is also shiny.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah, mine
that's
is
the cover that I have. I have it. I just haven't read it.
Yeah, I like this better than the new cover though. The new cover's not. Like it's too generic for me.
I just
Oh,
want
the
step
white
backs.
one?
All of them should have step backs.
Yes.
Yes.
They
agree.
don't do them as often.
When they
I
have
know.
fake step backs, I get
Oh my god, yes.
angry.
I hate it so much.
Get one.
Oh, I think I have one too. Let me see.
There's a Johanna Lindsey one that has a fake step back.
This one right here is a fake step back.
Do you see this?
Yeah.
Nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah, we do.
Oh, I
Put
have
it away.
that one with
Oh.
the step back. That one does have a
Oh.
step back. You got
There
a
is,
fake one?
but this edition doesn't.
Oh,
That's
so
unfortunate.
sad.
that's
I
even
know.
worse.
Yeah, like this
Yeah.
this fake step back. Like you
Yeah.
see it and you're
This one
not
too.
sure if it has
Nothing.
or not.
Nope.
No step.
Oh, I really don't like when they do
I
that.
also hate it when they have a step back, but it's like
It's
text.
nothing.
Or
and
it's
you're-
like reviews.
Oh.
right,
My
yeah.
copy
no.
of Ransom is like that. There's another gate on the step back. I'm like,
Why
What
put
is the
step back?
purpose of this?
yeah.
Why do that?
Doesn't Ransom have two romances in one too?
Mhm.
Yes.
Okay.
It's about the two guys who left to England to find wives.
At the
Broderick.
end of The Secret, yeah. No comment. You should read it though. I bugged Lacey until she read it.
Yeah.
And I got other people to do it with me, which is even better.
I literally went to the used bookstore and bought like all of the Julie Garwoods and like all of those authors that they had on the shelves.
Nice.
You guys are contributing to these shelves back here.
Anytime
Worth
I watch
it.
your haul, you're like, I bought this because of Jessica and Lacey. And I was like, well, now I need to go buy some more because you're
I
now
know.
I'm jealous.
Me too.
Cycle.
Nope.
It's an endless cycle. My whole shelf up here, that's all because of Lacey and Jessica just talking about historical romances.
Yeah. Like I bought Amanda Quick lately and I haven't even read her. But like
I literally bought Ravished by Amanda Quick because I thought you loved that one.
I'm so sorry. I mean, I know I have on good authority. A friend loves that one. So,
Isn't
That
that
means
like
it's
your
cool.
profile picture on Goodreads?
huh?
Or am I thinking, isn't that like your profile picture on Goodreads? Is it Amanda Quick or no?
I
Am
don't
I
have a
tripping?
book on my
Let me-
profile picture.
Let me,
I mean,
I'm pulling this. Let me see. I could have sworn I bought it because of you.
No.
While you check, someone asked about Eloisa James.
Oh.
Her books are very hit or miss for me.
I've only
Yeah.
read one. And I like the one I read, but that was like a while ago.
Which one was it?
Let me look for the title just to make sure I don't get it wrong because I keep mixing them up because it's from the fairy tale series though.
I read the
Ooh.
Cinderella one and it was so bad. I gave
That's not the one I read.
Oh, no.
Where
I haven't
is
read
it?
that series, but the first book I ever read from Eloisa, I loved. It was My American Duchess, and
I
it
like
like
that series, yeah.
made me a huge fan. So
Oh, I do want to read
I
that
mean,
one.
nothing else has lived up to it since My
Oh.
American
That's sad.
Duchess.
Oh, I like that.
But
I
I
bought
mean, I
this.
still love her because of that book.
I like the cover of that one. Oh, it wasn't even a novel. It was one of her novellas. It's Winning the Wallflower, which is part of the fairy tale books. It's sort of an ugly duckling story, which I liked it. The thing I said about it was that it was
is
too.
the fifth book?
It's not
Yeah.
even the whole book. No, it's a novella.
Oh, okay.
I was like, the thing I said about it was too short because it's a novella. So I was like, okay, that's all I'm getting. But I haven't read anything since, just because of the same, like what everyone is saying. They kind of have mixed reactions. So I'm like, I don't know if I want to read more of her books.
I've been enjoying her new one.
Did you read Say Yes to the Duke?
I didn't read it yet. I know you didn't like it.
I saw that. Yeah,
was really good. I liked Say No to the Duke, and then Say Yes to the Duke was so boring, and like things were just like not making sense, and I was just like, I don't like this. So
My favorite
Lisa
in that series are books 2 and 3.
Good to know. But then again, like with historical romance authors, sometimes I feel like maybe I don't like one of their books, but then I'll like something else, if that makes sense. Like, I don't necessarily love all of Julie Garwood's books. I've read most of the historicals. Don't love them all, but there's always one that I usually am like, oh, I really like that one.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's just, it just depends, I guess, on the trope. I think that's what it goes back to for me. Like in the end, it's the trope and the characters. So
I thought of a Western that was good. It was actually a Julie Garwood.
Is it part of the Roses series, that one?
No, well, it's not full Western because it does start in England, but they move to America and they go to like the Midwest. It's Prince Charming, which I really, really liked. If you haven't read that one yet.
No, I don't think I have.
For it, and I thought about buying it.
I love it.
I have. Hold on. Now I'm gonna see if I've read it because I actually have no idea.
I read it way back in high school, which is why I forgot that I had even read it. But like, it was my first romance, and I still love it.
Did you guys read historicals in high school? Because I definitely did.
And I did.
Yes, it was
even though I wasn't supposed to.
One of the first kinds of romances that I ever read. Because like I got into urban fantasy before I got into romance, and then an urban fantasy like author that I loved also wrote historical romance, Karen Marie Wanning. So then I read her Highlander books, and I was like, okay, these are so good. Let me find more Highlanders.
I think I read Julia Quinn as my first historical romance author.
Who? Yeah. Sorry, say it again.
Julia Quinn.
Oh,
she was my first.
She was She was my third because Julie Garwood was my first. The Secret was the first one I ever read, which
a good one.
I know. I was like, it was just downhill from there. I know. It was like downhill from there. It was her, and then Judith McNaught was the second.
So good.
Yeah.
I just got into historical romance like in the past 2 years. I don't know why. When I was like in high school, first starting reading, I was like only paranormal. I only wanted to read about vampires and werewolves. That was it. I didn't know historical romance existed.
I knew because of my mom. And then my mom told me she read Johanna Lindsey when I was like being born. And then she got rid of all of them. And I'm like, why did you get rid of these?
That's so
known.
That makes me sad.
I would want them.
Yeah. I co-opted all of my mom's eventually because I ended up reading most of them. And I was like, I'm just going to take these now. Bye.
Well, have you ever seen those like inserts?
This.
Oh my gosh.
Crazy.
That is an epic.
Is that them twice?
I have no idea.
But it's glorious.
It's beautiful. It looks like a movie poster.
Or this style. Like more than 2 people in the
movie poster style.
Yeah.
But my mom would get those like subscription boxes. They would send you like 5 historical romances a month. You know, those little like tear out things that are in old historicals.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think back to high school, and I don't think I really read like adult romances. I read a bunch of YA, and all the YA, ironically enough, that I read then is stuff that I just can't stand now, like the fantasy stuff. Like I read the Gone series by Michael Grant, which I really liked then, but I tried rereading it as an adult, and all I really wanted was a romance that I wasn't getting. So I chucked it again after reading it. But I didn't find romance again until 3 years ago in 2017 because I realized that was the only thing I wanted to read.
Okay, someone asked about Christy Caldwell, who I have read.
I haven't.
I mean, do you guys read any historicals on KU? Because I don't really. But this one, someone really liked it on Instagram, so I thought I'd give it a try. And I really liked it. We have a virgin hero, which I do love reading.
I like that.
The main characters are both a little older, in their 30s and 40s. And then it's another one, I guess it's a trope where the heroine saves the hero. Like he's injured, dying, whatever, and she like brings him back to life. So that was really good. It was very different. But it's like the last book in a series. And it's the only one that I've read.
Nothing wrong with that. I don't mind
free. Like I read free historical romances on Kindle, and like, I download like the pirate free ones, like the ones that are like 40 pages. I'm like, yep, this is what I need. 40 pages of pirates. That's what I do. Sort low to high, start downloading.
Yeah.
Wow.
Have you guys read Nora Roberts?
I have a little.
Yes.
I've only read J.D. Robb, who I do love.
I read the first J.D. Robb finally this year, and I actually liked it more than I thought I was going to.
In Depth is so good.
It was.
It's
I was
such
so
a good
shocked.
series.
I was so shocked about how much I enjoyed it. Because it's not my usual thing. That's the thing.
Yeah,
So I was like,
it's mystery.
I was like, this is not something I'd normally read. And then I actually listened to it, and I was like,
Oh, the audiobooks are great. They're excellent.
They did such a good job with it. I was like, I'm actually enjoying, like, okay, as much as you can enjoy a story like that, I enjoyed it.
Did you only read book one, or did you?
Yeah, I
read
haven't
more?
continued yet, because then I realized how long it was, and I was like, hold
Aren't
on.
there like 50?
There's
like
books
52.
in that series.
50 books.
Yeah.
I've only
I
read
thought Black Dagger
7.
Brothers was bad.
I know, no,
She's-
nothing
yeah.
compared to that.
Nothing
Like
compared
17
to Nora.
Yeah, although
She's been
Black
writing
Dagger-
that series since the year I was born. She's been writing it since
Really?
1995.
Just
Have you-
keeping it going.
Love it.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
It's like, what, 2 releases a year?
I think
Yeah.
How does she write so much?
I don't
It's
know.
all she
She's,
does.
Like, perfected the art, pretty much.
Yeah.
Because she releases In Depth and also Nora Roberts' book.
Other stuff.
Yeah, I don't know how.
Crazy.
I think she, on average, releases like 3 books a year. So it'll be
Yes.
like the in-depth book, and then it'll be like
other
one at
book.
the beginning of the year, one at the end of the year, and then one Nora Roberts. So
Yeah.
it's
Easy. That's impressive, but also crazy.
Yeah.
Have you read any of her Nora Roberts books? I've read
yes.
the Three Sisters one, the one on the island. I can't remember.
I haven't read that one. I have it, but I haven't read it. I have like this whole Nora Roberts section, but I've only read Year One,
I actually never read that
Sundown,
one.
I need to read
and
that
then her Royal Affair series, which is like her Prince royalty, whatever. I only
Yeah.
read the first book in that series, which was pretty
Yeah.
good.
I've only read 2, so I've read the Three Sisters one, which is pretty good. It's paranormal though. It's like modern day paranormal, and then one about brothers who work on a boatyard or have a boat. I can't remember what it's called. I just know
Is
they're
it Blood
brothers.
Brothers?
I don't know. I
Blood
can't-
Brothers?
No, I think
Okay.
it's set in Virginia, Chesapeake. I think it might be called the Chesapeake
Oh,
Bay
Chesapeake
series,
Bay,
which I
there's
really
Chesapeake
like.
Bay.
Okay, I just have a soft spot for like sibling stories, so I'm like, okay, I'll read
She's
this.
got a
one for
bunch
the
of 'em.
brothers. I know. There's so many I want to read, but there's so many.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Oh,
She has 4 coming out this year.
4.
Wow.
That's crazy.
That's
Oh,
a
unless
lot.
you're talking about Tessa Bailey.
Oh yeah, they're saying Tessa
That's,
Bailey.
yes.
I don't
need
think
to read
any authors do like 3+ books a year.
Yeah, because Tessa Bailey has the sequel to the vampire book is also coming out this year, right?
Yeah.
And then she also has the contemporary one.
Mhm. And then she releases like
Oh,
another,
yeah, Tools of
indie,
Engagement's coming out.
That's
Yeah.
another indie
I
random.
mean, I love it.
I'm
I
not
like
gonna
when
complain.
series are finished.
Yeah, right. I mean, I think indie authors can write a lot more. But
Probably.
Some are suffering for it a little in the quality of their books.
That's
but
fair. I think so.
sometimes, yes.
Some of them do. I'm not saying Tessa does. I haven't read any of
Mhm.
Tessa's new ones lately. I have to read Reborn yesterday, but
I really like the cover of the second one.
Yeah, it's so pretty.
It was. I was like, when I saw it, I'm like, didn't the first one just come out?
Yeah. She like immediately starts writing them as soon as like the book
Is out.
releases.
Yeah. I mean, good for her.
Mhm.
I am curious about that one, but
did you guys see? So that just reminds me, the publishing paid me hashtag. Like,
Yes.
I really want to know what indie authors make because like they don't get advances; they just get like what they're paid. But like, oh my gosh,
it was
the
a
money
wild time.
publishers will drop on debut YA novels blows my mind.
Authors, yeah.
Yes.
Crazy.
Did you see what V.E. Schwab is getting paid for her next series? It's like $100K or something like that
Who?
for her next series. V.E.
Sarah
Schwab.
Schwab.
Oh,
Yeah.
Did she
yeah.
get
I mean, she's a big author.
Is making nothing.
Wait, there was like 5 people talking. What happened?
I know. I was like, who's making nothing?
N.K. Jemisin was only still making like 75,000, which is a lot, but like not a lot considering how successful she
Is she the
Well,
one
yeah.
who made a thread about royalties versus
Yeah.
advances?
Yeah, so she like
Yeah.
still gets paid a lot because you're
Yeah. If you get a good like contract with high royalties,
Then
it's
you're
probably
also
worth it.
still gonna end. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's also if you have a big advance and you don't earn it out, you're gonna be paying it forever.
you need to pay
So
it
if-
back.
Yeah.
So that is
Yeah.
the one like tiny advantage you might get from having a smaller one with better royalty,
Mhm.
a better royalty clause. You'll definitely be making money faster if you finish paying out your advance. So
Like
I
that
don't like.
100K book that definitely did not.
I was like, when I saw that, I'm like, I'm sorry,
What
what?
book is that?
I was like,
Never heard of it. Never heard of this guy.
I was like, nope, don't know. But that entire conversation was
Great.
wild.
But
was
I
like,
do know indie authors are very successful.
Yeah.
So,
Like, I think it's also helpful because they can control their timelines more than and their timelines and their own marketing, even though it's more work.
marketing, yeah.
Yeah.
But I
So
feel
if
like,
the publisher doesn't market your book,
yeah, if they're
Mhm.
huge
no.
exactly, especially if they're a huge publisher with like a gigantic catalog, they're not going to talk
Mhm.
about all the books. They just don't. That's just
Yeah.
a fact of life, which is really sucky, but that's how it is. Like, I feel like that happens a lot with romance specifically too, because like there's so many historical romances, and that's a great thing. But half the time, you don't actually hear about all of them. You just hear about like the 3
There's
titles
just,
that
like,
are very
one-
important.
One special one that's like pushed so hard, and then all the others are just left behind.
And you find them
Yeah.
later, but it's gonna take like it's because of like someone else telling you, like,
Yeah.
oh, this is great,
Yeah.
Yeah.
which is
But
like,
Very
even
nice.
in like the Goodreads awards, has there ever been a historical romance in the romance
I don't think
section?
the original 10. I think they're always the write-ins.
Yeah, they
Like,
added some
Tessa
last year.
Dare. Yeah.
it's such a shame though, because yeah,
Underappreciated.
I know. I actually feel like
Mass markets. Why do people hate mass market paperback?
I don't know.
I don't know.
They're so easy to read and they look nice on your shelves.
Yeah.
They say they can't read it because it's too small. And it's like they can't hold it in their hands.
It's kind of like as the same font as like reading on your phone, kind of.
yeah,
Right? It's
Yeah.
typical. It's
I
the
mean,
same
hardcovers are huge, and they're
And,
like
like-
so bulky.
and they're
Because I
unwieldy.
can't read a hardcover. Hardcovers are they're hard for me to read.
They're unwieldy, like because you can't.
Yeah.
You have to position them just right to read a hardcover. Whereas, like with a paperback, even if I'm lying on my back, I'm like, okay, I can hold this. It's fine. It can just.
I do like hardcover historical romances though. They're kind of looks. Like let's see.
Yeah,
I have so few of them.
I have a couple.
Okay, but I do have to complain that sometimes the font is a little too small.
Sometimes.
I guess, yeah. I can see that.
The
And if
older
you read
ones.
a booklight, hardcover is easier to attach your booklight onto.
That's true.
I know.
I
And
don't know.
Riley did point out that publishers do push their trade paperbacks a lot more than their mass market. And I think it's really awkward when the historicals are trade, like Evie Dunmore.
Yeah, that's the
Oh.
only one that I've ever heard.
Yeah.
The
They trade.
Yeah.
But the
And
authors
it's got
are
the
really
cute cover
promoting it.
too. It's got the cute cover too, so clearly they're trying to market it
Yeah.
not as a historical.
I didn't think it was a historical when I first saw it. I was like, oh,
people didn't
it
expect
didn't look
that.
like it. Yeah.
Like someone
Which
told
book
me
is
they didn't
this?
even know it was a romance.
What is it called? Bringing
Heavy
Down the
Dunker.
Duke,
Oh my God.
Bringing down the dude.
Oh, okay, yeah.
which I still haven't read, but I really want to because I like the idea of it,
I loved it. It was so good. Mhm.
and I like the premise of the second one.
But and I like only spending $8 on a mass market at full price. I never even have to buy at full prices. They're always like 20% off or half price books.
Yeah,
I'm
agreed.
so jealous. We don't have a high price bookstore.
I want one so bad. Every time Jess
So
talks
jealous.
about going, I'm like, can I also come to this half price?
Right?
Yeah. And you always seem to find something good at your half price books. That's the thing.
I have
Two.
like one used bookstore that I frequent. That's it. We don't have any other bookstores in my area.
And don't they ask you what you're doing back again?
Yes. They played me.
Don't want your business.
They were like, "Oh my gosh, you must read so fast because you buy so many books." And I was like, "Okay."
I'm glad you think so.
And she was like, "Do you really read all of these books?" And I'm like, "They all look really nice on my shelves."
Calling you out.
Story of my life.
You just need options. That's why you have to acquire these books.
Exactly,
That's the important
exactly.
thing. You never know what you're gonna want, so you need to.
Well,
just
when I
have it.
start a series, I have like this weird compulsiveness to like buy the entire series. Like I need the whole series to finish it if I want to. If I don't want to, then I just have all the books.
They'll still look pretty on your shelf.
Exactly.
It serves some purpose, right? No, I agree about that though. I like having all of the books in the series if I like the first book.
Yeah.
So usually for me, it's like I'll buy the first one, and then if I like that one, I'll buy everything else.
Yeah. Do you guys read historicals in order, or do you jump around in series?
I jump around.
I try to,
Read in order.
but I
I try
obviously
to read
didn't read in order with that new Lorraine Heath that I started with the second one. I thought it was book one.
I try to also, but if I can't do it, like when I first read the Bridgertons, I didn't read them in order.
That was the one series I was gonna
Like
say.
I was just like it was also because I didn't have access to all it, because this was back before the Philippines even had access to like Kindle. The historical romance section was super small, and then you had to special order if you wanted something specific. So I would only be able to read whatever was there at the time. So I think the first one I read was the fourth one, and then I went back and read the second one. Then I went to the seventh. So like it was this weird of course it majorly spoiled me for like half the series, because then I knew who like ended up with each other. But it was fine. It's fun. Well, the ones I read first are still the ones I like the best, and the later ones, including the one that I really dislike, are the ones I don't like at all. So yeah, now I try to read them in order, but most of the time I'm just like, whichever one I have right now, I'll read it because it's already here.
I try to read them in order just so I know what's going on.
Yeah. Like I bought Sherry Thomas. I read Beguiling the Beauty, which I loved, and then I bought like the next two books.
Oh,
and
nice.
I listened to the second book in audio, and I did not like it. I was so disappointed.
I think that's her one series. Have you read any of her other historical romances? I see.
No,
There's
this is
one
my
that
first time reading her.
Yeah, I really enjoyed her other one. I think it's called the London Trilogy.
Oh yes, London Sisters.
Yeah, the one that starts with Luckiest Lady in London. I read the entire trilogy. It's great. I quite enjoyed that one, but I haven't read the one you're reading, the series you're reading.
Yes, I read you. Okay, Charles, I read you the first book, which I loved. Second book, I did not wreck you.
Just like, okay, good to know.
I mean, her writing is amazing. I just did not like the story in the second one, which is A Marriage of Convenience. And it's like,
I feel set up.
what?
He's like, I feel set up.
Almost. Like they're going to marry and he's in love with another woman for like 80% of the book. And I'm like,
why?
How am I supposed to like believe in the romance, you know? So
that's sad.
But I still love the first book, okay?
Are you gonna read the third one?
Yeah.
Okay. Just curious.
I see you. After I wreck you, Joanna shoots. Real.
Thank you,
Real.
Are there any historical romance authors that you feel like no one ever talks about?
Celeste Bradley.
Celeste Bradley?
Who?
That is exactly what I was like, wait, what?
I was sent one of her books that she co-wrote with another author like a couple years ago, but it was a weird like historical / contemporary. I don't know. It was weird. But I've heard of her.
Oh, I see.
Celeste
Bradley.
Yeah, okay.
So I read one of it, like one of her books, and I had to buy like everything that I saw at thrift shops because it was the first historical romance that had a villain that I literally was like, okay, this guy's crazy. And it was like my first exposure to like the girl in danger plot, and then the guy actually having to think how to like solve it and how to like save her. So I don't know. I just really liked it, but I just never read any of it afterwards. And this has been like 6 years. So
wait,
yeah.
so which one is it?
I don't even know the title of that one that I read. anymore. But I
The one you read 4 years ago?
maybe 6 years ago now. So yeah.
Well, 4 years ago you read To Wed a Scandalous Spy.
Oh, you're searching me up?
No, I'm looking at this book, and it says you reviewed it 4 years ago.
Oh, okay. Then
Maybe
that's
it's
the
4
one.
stars.
Maybe
That's the one.
Okay, good to know. Because I'm like, let me just add that right now.
It has a 4.0.
Yeah, I need to read Courtney Milan.
Oh, yeah, it has a pretty decent like Goodreads rating.
I don't know if she's still alive. Because I don't like if she's still publishing any new books. But I bought one recently, so maybe she is still writing and she's still alive. So we don't know.
Someone in the comments said Eva Lee. I haven't read any of her books.
I have not either.
I have so many of her books. Her books are so
everywhere. They're gorgeous.
pretty.
Yeah.
They're so cheap on Amazon right now too.
They were always on Book Outlet.
I met her last year. She was
How
nice.
is she? Oh.
Yeah. Yeah, I got my fake rake. I got it signed, but I still haven't read it.
That's the one the title I'm familiar with, but I also have not read it. So
Yeah, me either.
I
trying to
haven't
think
read
of,
any of Courtney Milan's.
I was about to say, I'm like, she's one of the ones I haven't read a lot of them, but I have read I think 2, maybe.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember.
I read
like 1.
the first Brothers Sinister book.
I like that hers are a little
Self
different.
Club, though.
Yeah.
Yes. Who have I not heard recently?
There's Kathy Maxwell, if anyone's heard of her.
Yes.
I keep mentioning her, but like I feel like nobody talks about Kathy Maxwell.
I've read Kathy Maxwell.
What did she write?
She writes historic. Let me find the book that I've read. I forgot what it's called. Let's see.
There was a debut historical indie author, Mia Vinci. I really like that one. It's very rom-com-y.
My favorite.
Let me see.
Like having to add all of these to my.
I know.
Goodreads.
Me too.
It's called A Wicked Kind of Husband, Marriage of Convenience.
My favorite.
Yeah. So they like never saw each other since the day they got married, and it's been a couple of years now. And then when they do run into each other, they don't even recognize each other.
Oh
Their friends are like, "Are you gonna say hi to your spouse?" So yeah, I like that one.
Yeah.
Okay, so I found it. It's called A Match Made in Bed. And it's part of her. Oh, is it?
Yes, I liked
The
it.
Spinster Heiresses series. I really liked it. I thought it was super cute. Like it wasn't too over the top or anything. So if you want something that's super easy to like ease you in if you've never read a historical, I think it's a really good one.
Talk about bad marketing. That book only has like 900 ratings.
Really?
Less than
Yeah.
I'm surprised.
They're
I don't
doing
like the
Kathy
cover.
dirty.
I thought it was cute.
Fight, like,
Have you seen the step back? The step back is super adorable. They're having a pillow fight. I'm gonna find it.
look at
Hold
the
on.
cover.
I want to see it. I don't like the cover that's on Goodreads though.
Oh,
No.
I'll
I
find
think
it.
I know which one you're talking about. Someone posted that on a Step Back Saturday. That was cute.
I like
The
watching
pillow
it.
fight.
I wonder who donated it. Huh.
There's an author I
it's on my top
read.
shelf.
I want to say, when did I
Go
read
for
this
it.
author? I think
Yeah.
it was like a few years ago. Teresa Medeiros. I don't know if you guys have read any
Oh
of her.
yes,
Yeah.
I've heard of her.
I
She's
like.
older, right?
Yeah,
We've
I
had-
like her book Yours Until Dawn. That was a good book. It felt very Beauty and the Beast, which I really liked.
Yours Until Dawn.
Uh-huh. It was one of my favorite books.
Okay.
Wow, it was a while ago. It was one of my favorite books the year I read it.
Oh
Okay,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. I've seen that before.
Okay.
Oh, it is so cute. Now I'm
Yeah,
gonna
it's adorable. I
Aw.
love it. I have this book tabbed up. Like I thought it was so good.
Oh, Julia London. Someone mentioned Julia London. I just read the first book in that series, I think.
Did you like it?
I did. Although I will say I'm not like particularly into royals or stories about royalty.
Wow.
Like I don't dislike them, but they're also not the thing that I gravitate towards. So I was
Are
a little
they
like
English royalty? Romances?
no. Wait, am I thinking about the right series? Are we talking about the same series? I'm trying to think about if this person and I are talking about
I
the
feel
same
like
series.
she has written some royal
She has a few. The new one she has, I think, is the one that has the royal title. No, they're not English royalty though. Am I thinking about the same person? There's a lot of authors named Julia and Julie, so I could be mixing it up. So hold on.
Yeah, that's true.
I went to the bookstore and I bought a ton of Julia London, thinking it was Julia Quinn.
Nice.
And you're like, just kidding.
And I got to the register and was saying like, "Oh my gosh, it's getting a Netflix adaptation! Like, how cool is that?" And she was like, yeah, I think you're thinking of someone else."
Oh no.
But yeah, there is a lot of authors named Julia.
I know. Like
I know.
I can think of like 4 of them. Yeah, the one I didn't read the Desperate Debutante series, but I do want to read that one. The one I read is the new one, A Royal Wedding, that series. It was cute. It has a murder mystery, sort of, in the story. And I liked it. I liked the setup of it. What I didn't like was that there was like this weird lull in the middle of the book. Like action. It was like a lot of action, a lot of exciting stuff, and like the whole meet cute. And then the middle of the book is kind of a lull when they're investigating. And then the end gets exciting again. So I was like, the middle is a little hard to get through. But I still will read the next one because it's about one of the secondary characters that I like. So I'm like, I'll read it. It's fine. That's how they get me.
Yeah.
I still have...
Someone said Elizabeth Hoyt. I like Elizabeth Hoyt too.
I've only read one series of hers.
I love her.
Lane.
I love her books.
Her characters swear, and I love it. I'm joking, Jessica. I'm
They
joking.
do get pretty raunchy.
Any
yeah.
royalty romance recommendations? More modern?
I think.
1900s, 20th century.
Hold on a second.
Let me see.
I don't read a lot in that era.
I don't either.
No, mainly like 1800s. No.
I don't.
Yeah, early like 1900s is not really.
The only thing I've read is Callia Reed, and those aren't.
Oh, that's true.
Those are in the U.S. though, and they're not
Yeah.
Not royalty.
royalty.
And it's time travel.
Not the King of the South, technically.
Oh, that's true.
Though that was kind of boring.
Yeah.
I have a time travel one. This is Johanna Lindsey, Warriors Woman. Got that one.
Oh, yeah. It's
Yeah.
like her sci-fi series, right?
I haven't read it yet, but it looks interesting.
And I like the cover.
Right? Yeah. About it.
Wow.
But yeah, I have a ton.
Spicy.
Can you imagine? Be on public transportation.
Yes. Yes.
What is that?
Lorraine Heath's Between the Devil and Desire. Like the back is like that. Like I can't even hide it. I'll just be like, hey,
Casually reading it when you're commuting.
hey, sir, with my
That's-
mask on. Like,
That's how like the hardcover historical romances are too. All the step backs are on the back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
that
I
hot.
don't
That hot.
Although to be fair, I don't actually I don't mind reading the ones. Like I don't care if someone sees me reading it on the subway. I'm just like, it's fine. It's like my favorite thing is that unrelated to historical romance, but you know the BDB books have like the shirtless men covers. So
Yeah.
I read all of them while I was commuting back and forth to work, and it was great because people would just watch me do it, and I could feel them watching me do it. And I'm just like, I don't care. I'm busy. Like I'm enjoying myself. Thanks.
That's why I don't like how publishers are going more towards illustrated. So people are like, oh, it's going to be a nice, fun romance, like Fix Her Up by Tessa Bailey. And then they get into it and they're like, this is not a nice, fun romance. And it's just,
Yeah.
You're just like,
They're like
no.
making
That book
romance
bamboozled me.
more acceptable.
but it's
Like-
confusing readers.
Yeah.
No, I agree.
It's roping in the non-romance readers to read romance.
Yeah. I mean, I get it.
But they're also
Like, what's
unprepared.
wrong with a shirtless man? Like, we
Right.
just need
Don't
that
get
on the
rid of
cover.
our historical covers. Like, I don't know how they're gonna get rid of them. No.
Oh no, that's weird.
That's
Don't
why
do that, please.
a couple.
Please don't do that. Whoever's watching who controls things like this, don't.
Please don't. I would be so sad.
We will fight it.
It that like people are watching us like that control the publishing industry, but like please don't do that. No.
Please, never. I would be so
I
sad.
saw
if
so
they
many
did.
reviews on Fix Her Up where people were just like, "This is like my first romance," and they gave it like 1 star because it wasn't what they thought it was gonna be.
Tessa Baby.
though.
Yeah, of all
Yeah.
authors to start with.
Yeah, it's a lot.
What's still
have any of you read Monica McCarthy? I've heard she has good Scottish romances, but I have not.
Oh.
No,
I have
I've
not
only
read her.
romantic suspense.
Oh yeah, she writes those. I have
Yeah.
those behind me
I don't
somewhere.
remember what it's called, but those were good.
Now I'm like, oh.
I forget what
Someone-
those are called.
Yeah, I just looked up which series it was. Someone actually just recommended that author to me
Okay.
and said that she would recommend the Highland Guard books,
Mm-hmm.
but specifically book 2. She's like, book 1 is not that great, which I feel like is a common thing at this point, where it's like book 1's not good. Trying to think of who else like I don't see. Anne Gracie is another one, although hers are a little bit more. They're less on the sexy times and more on the clean romance side. Her books are good too. I've read an entire series of hers.
Does she have a book called Annie's Song?
No,
No,
I
that's
don't think
Kathy
so.
Anderson or Catherine Anderson.
Okay.
Hers are,
Which I love.
The series I read from her is like Perfect Rake, Perfect Waltz. They're all like the perfect something, and they're they're not sisters. They basically adopt each other as sisters, but they're not sisters. It's cute.
I like that.
Yeah, it's a good series. Although, like I said, less on sexy times, more on like the actual romance.
Yeah.
Like all
But
the
even
nice.
though-
I like her covers a lot. Annie Gracie's. Those the covers
Yeah.
are really pretty.
I'm trying to think of who else. Mary
Even
Ballo is
with,
another
like,
one.
Oh, I have some from her. Is she good?
I've never read her. That's why
Oh.
she's another one that someone recently was like, you should give her a try. I'm like, okay, but she has so many books.
Yeah, I picked some up from her.
I have some of hers too. I think I read them a while ago though.
She has a lot.
Someone did mention Elizabeth Hoyt too. Oh, I think it was Lisa in the chat.
And
What?
I like
Me?
Elizabeth Hoyt.
Yeah, I love
do
Elizabeth.
Yeah, she's
Yeah.
great.
I got another book.
Somebody mentioned, "Do I like Elizabeth Hoyt?" or like, "Do we like it?" And I was like, "Yes, we love Elizabeth. She's great."
I've only read one of her series. I liked it though. I read the
Maiden Lane.
the
Yeah.
Princess one. I think is the one I read.
This one's another fake step back,
Oh,
Oh no.
The
disappointment.
audacity. The absolute audacity.
right?
Can we talk about this cover? I just really like it.
Is that a Scott
Oh,
in there?
mhm.
I don't know, but I just like her makeup. Like I'm
Oh,
channeling.
okay. I was like, I think that's a
He's
kilt.
a captain. He's a captain, so he might be a pirate, and I'm
Is
in love with
there a kilt? Show the bottom.
Show the bottom.
Show it, yeah.
Oh,
Oh, no, it looked like a kilt.
It looked like
My bad.
flat. So
Yeah, it
No.
did. The
No,
red
that's
lettering.
yeah.
You're
The red
right.
lettering.
Anybody watch Bob's Burgers? You're
Yeah.
or something is grass, and I'm gonna mow it.
Oh, yes.
Okay, I'm done. Bye.
Oh, I do like the premise of that book.
The Bride Takes a Groom.
Yeah.
It's my most recent, like, no, that's a lie. It's not my most recent purchase. It's like one of my most recent purchases.
I like the
This-
premise of it. I just went to look at it. Oh, I will probably end up book shopping after this, even though I probably shouldn't.
Where do you guys buy your historicals? That was a question someone asked.
I just bought some stuff on eBay today.
That's
so,
where I got all my Johanna Lindsey.
I usually look on
Yeah.
I usually look on eBay or Thrift Books because they have the better covers.
Thrift Books has, like, if you're looking for a specific cover, Thrift Books is really good. eBay is amazing. Like, they have all these surprise mystery historical romance boxes, which is so fun. But those are fun too. So yeah, eBay and Thrift Books.
wait, so
Yeah,
the
you can
book,
eBay.
like it matches the cover that they show.
Okay, so
like
it's a little hit and miss. It's a
Exactly.
little hit and miss.
yeah, that's why I
So
like try not
just
to
go
buy
into it.
The
I
ones
mean,
with
like,
the generic
yeah.
covers.
Better
I-
World Books.
But that's where I got my.
Oh yeah, Better World Books is a good option too.
But they'll
I'm
sometimes tell you
Canadian.
library and not tell you it's a library copy. And
Oh, that's my
Right,
pet
I
peeve.
just got one like that. So
my
annoyed.
last order had 3 out of like the 8 I ordered that
Like,
were.
okay, the
Whoa.
thing is, it shows that it's a library edition
Yes.
after you buy it.
Oh, normally, like, I'll
Oh.
look at the editions and it'll say X library. I was like, not going to buy that one. So let me
Yeah.
buy this other one underneath it.
And they still send you that library.
Yeah.
Thrift Books is where I got the Laura Kinzo one that I always post about.
Mm.
The flowers.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Flowers from the storm.
Oh, I have the plain cover of that one.
Yeah, me too. I thought about getting that one, but I figured I should read it first.
Right.
Maybe.
Price
And like
wise,
all
I
the
think
old
eBay has the
like,
better
like,
sales.
Yeah. I think so too. I like the bundling you can do on eBay.
Yes,
Exactly.
the lots.
Yeah.
That's my favorite when they do lots, and I'm like, okay, sure.
Yeah, I just
Yeah.
bid on some Nalini Singh books. That's ending tomorrow, so
Good luck.
I have
I
a bid
hope
on Christina Dodd's 3-armed one.
you have a bid?
What?
On the 3-armed one.
Bid?
Yeah. I have a bid on that, yeah.
Is
I
it just
know.
a
Oh my
book
gosh.
or a
Just
lot?
that book. They posted
Ooh.
for 99 cents with $2 shipping, so
Wow, that's not bad at all.
it expires tomorrow. So I'm like, no one better bid over me.
Hopefully not.
I also shop at Half Price Books, so
I miss going to like
wish.
used bookstores. They always have the best romance sections. Like no matter which one I go into, there will usually be a romance section, which is great.
Lisa, where do you shop? People are asking for Canadians.
Oh, I already replied back everywhere. But so I'm Canadian, so I do not have thrift shops I tried going on eBay looking for historical romance lots, and me and Lacey started laughing really badly because like the price of the historical romances was like 2 times less than the shipping. And I was like, where are they shipping it from? Are they shipping it from none of it? Like at the tip top of none of it?
The very top.
Territory in Canada. And I was like, okay, so that's not an option. So Value Village and Salvation Army, Goodwill are my options here in Canada. Unfortunately, because of COVID-19, they're closed or they're open, but I'm not comfortable with going in there because it's like used items and I'm like, okay, not right now. And so I buy my books from either on Amazon or Chapters Indigo, and I sort low to high. Low to high pricing.
Yeah.
Always.
I mean, I
$7
shopped
and below.
the
Add to cart.
Amazon used books. I recently started buying from there for like specific stuff because they don't really do lots unless it's a like independent seller who's willing to do that. But
Isn't there
sometimes you
shipping
find
always $3.99 though for that?
yes,
Good to know.
So
or
on
like
average,
it's
how much does
included,
that
but it's a higher price.
But like on average, how much does that cost?
What do you mean?
Like per
Oh.
book?
Each one? It's like about $5
Not bad.
with shipping.
For me, if I were to do Amazon Marketplace, it would be $9, which is the full price book. So
Yeah,
I would,
like
Might as well just buy it.
Yeah,
Canada's so expensive.
yeah, because you guys don't have media mail.
Oh
with
yeah.
media mail.
It's
Really
ship.
super cheap shipping.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's for
Wait,
books
what?
only.
Ship a bunch of books for lower shipping costs.
Yeah,
Okay, if
like
I ever
for
come down,
£1 is like $2.50 or somewhere around there, and then
Yeah,
each
it's super cheap.
pound is like another 50 cents.
we have this box now, and it's like a flat rate box, and you can ship 11 pounds. It like whatever fits in the box ships, but like you can't fit a lot in that one. But anyways, if I ever come down to America, I'm already thinking about it, and like it's just gonna be one empty suitcase, and that's just gonna be all the books.
You can
I'd
fit
have
a
to-
lot of stuff in an empty suitcase.
I'm coming. and
Especially mass markets.
The
Mass
border
market.
patrol comes and gets me, and we're like, "Hey, what do you have in that suitcase?" I'd be like, "Nothing, nothing."
So look at all the steamy covers.
I was about to be like, just open it to the covers.
Okay, one
Guys,
time,
say something.
one time I was like going on a 6-hour bus ride to Montreal, and from Toronto to Montreal, and then I was separated from my friends because my friends were jerks and they sat somewhere else without me. So I was like, okay, it's fine because I have 6 steamy novels that I can like flip through in those 6 hours, just skim through it. And then I ended up not reading them and I shoved it underneath like my seat on the bus. And then when we arrived in Montreal, the guy behind me was like, hey, you dropped these. Like, it's all shirtless, like hockey players and like things like that. And I'm like, thank you.
She's like, thanks, I take them all back now.
Yeah, like I was like, ooh, that's fine.
Yeah, I don't know if it's like a West Coast thing, but we have a bookstore called Dollar Book Fair, and all historical romance paperbacks are $1, hardbacks $2. New releases doesn't matter.
Amazing.
Yeah, Dollar Book
Fair.
I've never even heard of that.
thing.
Me either.
I'm like, can I come and visit?
Yeah, but that's where I get all mine. They're only $1.
What kind of store? Is it just a store or is it like what?
No, it's a book fair. It's a bookstore, and it has all types of books, mainly used books, but everything, even like they have more than historical romance. So if you read like fantasy or whatever, $2 for paperback. I mean, $1 for paperback, $2 for hardbacks, and then Harlequin romances are like 50 cents.
Yes, Harlequin.
Yeah. That's amazing.
We have like we have book fairs in Toronto, but then it's closed obviously now because of COVID. So, but those books are $2 too, and $2 to $2 for hardcovers.
Oh, it's called a book fair, but it's not like a thrift store or anything like that. It's like an actual bookstore. When I think book fair, I think
I have one really close to me.
Lazy.
Lazy.
On it. I'm surprised Lacey wasn't
so
on
good.
this week before. She's ready. She's like,
she's just gonna show up with the entire
Yeah. I literally bookmarked bookstores on Yelp yesterday. On
wow.
to like go after when I can, I guess.
Yeah.
Lacey, do you drive?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought you were just gonna be like, Mom, get in the car. We're going. And then you just like pick up everything. Wow, I'm jealous.
I know, me too.
West Coast where? I live in California. That's who was asking.
Yes.
I don't know if it's California.
I didn't even know you lived in California.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. We must live close then if you have one close to you. Yeah.
What?
Dollar Book Fair is the name for all your comments.
If you live on the East Coast, around the Virginia, Maryland area, there's a book fair called Green Valley Book Fair. It's in this huge, like, farm silo type thing. It's out in the middle of freaking nowhere, y'all. Like, it's Amish country, but they have so many books that you've probably heard about from the last 5 to 10-ish years that are not always necessarily popular, but there are a bunch of good books that you can find. There's a romance section that's okay. I found a few of my favorites in there, so it's a really good place to go. And they're shipping now, but they're so low tech that they don't have their full stock up on their website right now, so there's really no point in me trying to buy stuff from their fair at the moment. So we're just waiting for COVID to be over.
I hope that happens.
I wish used bookstores like cataloged everything.
Yes.
So much easier.
Sure. It would, yeah. That's the only thing with used bookstores is like you just have to go with an open mind because you're never gonna find anything specific.
Yeah.
You know?
Sometimes you'll get really lucky.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I found pretty lucky. I found a lot of Kerrigan Byrne at like my last book shopping trip before COVID.
I miss going physical book shopping because it just feels different.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I don't know when that's gonna happen again. I hope one day Canada does have cheap shipping, Lisa.
Thank you. But I highly doubt it. There's
we'll smuggle some books for you.
There's so many like shipping memes on TikTok about Canada shipping, about like it just goes everywhere around the country and then comes back to you. And then so I doubt it. I doubt it for it being cheap.
You have free health care, so that makes up for it.
I mean, true.
That's true.
I do get free drugs until I turn 25. Oh shit, I'm 25. Oh shit, I said so I stopped having free drugs. So I just realized that. So I now pay for my drugs, but it's fine. I'll wait until I'm 65 and then I'll stop and then I'll start not paying for drugs again.
Okay.
Yeah, you're like, what?
Educational.
What are some historicals you've bought recently?
Me looking at my latest haul because I'm like, hold on.
Let's see.
I'm gonna go grab mine, so I'll be right back.
Mine are all digital.
I would have to take apart that rainbow
books are
shelf, and
falling.
that's just not happening.
Yeah, all my books are falling on top of me right now.
Oh.
I got some.
I saw someone mention Sabrina Jeffries.
Oh,
I
yeah.
picked up a ton of her.
I've never read her, but her name is like, I see it every so often.
Yeah.
A lot of people talk about her School for Aries series, so I recently bought like the entire series, which I don't know. We'll see. This one has no correct spine, so you'll guys be happy for that.
Oh.
The sun is going down. Let me fix the lines.
I got the second and third in Presley Cole series.
Oh, nice.
Ah.
I haven't read the first one yet, but I have it over here. So I saw these and I got them.
Oh, you know
I
what?
was
I
just
just
super
realized I
excited.
have a Celeste Bradley on my shelf that my friend sent me. Let me get that one. It's at the top.
For anyone who wants super smutty historical romances, that Presley Cole series is really
Oh, that's so, I have that.
Oh, I like
Yeah.
that cover.
That cover is
I like her
beautiful.
dress. I like her.
Ah.
Oh, I love it. There's a ship on that cover. That's all that really
Yeah.
Yeah,
registered.
shit.
I was like, there's a ship. That's important. What did I buy? The last few I bought were the 3 Beverly Jenkins books, the ones that went on sale on Kindle.
I got this from Beverly Jenkins.
Oh,
Oh,
that's
I
hot.
like that. I like that cover.
buying that one, Jess.
What?
I was thinking about buying that one on
I like the
eBay.
cover.
Yeah, it's really nice.
I like it.
Yeah.
It was
I
weird
just bought Forbidden by Beverly Jenkins.
That one's.
Oh, love it.
I like
Ooh.
that cover.
That's a good cover too.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
I
really
like
pretty.
He's hot. Just hot.
I showed these on Instagram, but this is one of my latest from Better World books. Oh wait, this is from Amazon, but like an Eloisa James.
Oh, good. There is a
Get back.
Yeah.
This is the library copy.
Oh,
Yo, you guys are making me want to buy more historical romances.
Same.
I know.
We don't want.
Oh, I like that
Yeah,
cover
that's
for
Oh,
a
I have a
nice
different cover of that.
Yeah,
I
I've
like
been
that
looking
cover.
for this cover.
I have that. Yeah, I have a different cover for that one too.
I've seen the one that Jess has.
I have the
fairly
cover
often.
that you have, Jess.
Yeah, I've never seen the one Lacey's showing us.
No,
I like it though.
I don't know if
Nice.
it's the original, but
That's weird. It's just
one
like
of the one that Jess has.
I like how it's just like one gauntleted hand.
But this one is like a lot of people have read it and loved it, so
Yeah.
I figured
it's time traveling, right?
yes. And then a Beverly
Aw.
Jenkins book, Destiny's Surrender.
I just
I
read
have that
one.
I
Read
just bought it.
the first page.
Read the first page.
Why?
Not out loud.
Are you telling me to read it right now?
Can I show it?
No,
What does it say? Hey.
she's a prostitute,
What is
yeah.
it?
and so it's
Oh,
getting right into the action. Page
Basically
1.
an O phase.
just jumping into it.
There
Yeah,
was a thread
it's
on
so-
Twitter. Beverly Jenkins was talking about the best first lines of books, and I
Oh,
wanted to
yes.
talk about it so badly, but like I'm a teacher, so I couldn't get in on that conversation on Twitter because they were quoting books and like the first line that were scandalous first lines. It was very entertaining.
Oh, now I'm so curious. Hold on, I'm gonna open it on
What is
Kindle.
that? Which
Just
one is
gonna-
that?
Click on preview.
Destiny Surrender.
I just opened it because I have it on Kindle. Hold on.
Wait, I think I have that one too. Okay, give me a second.
Like overall, just like 2 seconds while you're
Now I have to look it up.
I listened to it on audio, and I just like was walking my dog, and I was like, "What is happening right now?"
I can imagine how that must have felt.
Yeah.
Hearing this on audio.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but it was really good.
I listen to audiobooks at work, so I cannot listen to historical romance at work because I'm like, oh god.
But Destiny Surrender, she's a prostitute, and
Okay.
she like kind of
It's
likes
a-
one of the guys
Mhm.
that like visits her, and then she gets pregnant, and then she has to.
Yeah, it's a surprise baby, right?
Which I didn't mind. I hate.
I don't
Yeah, I
like
know.
surprise
I mind it.
babies.
Yes.
Mm-mm. I can't stand surprise babies. That's
It happens really early on though, so. And she
Oh,
like
okay, that's fine.
tell him about it for like a
Mhm.
year. It was really good.
I can't read it because Jess won't let me.
Why?
She's a teacher.
Yes, we cannot.
We have to think of the
Don't read it out
kiddos.
loud.
That's right. That's
Okay,
fair.
can I just like not say the big word?
But
Billy,
the effect.
Okay,
Billy's blank tore through her like a lightning bolt.
Oh my god.
Assume whatever the blank is.
I love it. Oh
I
my
mean,
goodness.
Setting the story straight.
Yeah.
I mean, at
also
least
had,
you're not fooled.
Suzanne Enoch writes Scottish romances.
Oh, I like the
Yeah.
cover. I like the
Have you
one on
read
the.
Oh, I got those.
Have you read her?
No. I also have this one and this one by her too.
Oh.
Where the camera
Those
is.
are really pretty.
Familiar.
I don't think
Find any of the authors.
I feel like that always happens to me. I'm like, I need to get this book out, and then I will never find them. And then when it's over, I'll be like, oh, there it was this entire time. Oh, she has a lot of books. Oh, I really like that cover.
Wait,
This
did you guys like Destiny Surrender?
Oh, I didn't read it yet.
I did.
You did,
Just a
right,
little
Jess?
bit.
This is my Amanda Quick stack.
Woo.
Cool.
Have you
you're
ever
in it
read
right
this
now.
author? Bettina Cran. Okay.
Oh, I just got that one.
Oh, I have never heard of that author.
It's medieval, which is I wanted it for the historical readathon for a medieval book, but at the time I don't think it's digitalized, and I didn't want to buy the physical. It would have taken forever. So
Oh,
I read the first sentence of Destiny Surrender. It's not even that bad. I thought it was the other thing. Like, I didn't think it was that thing. Whatever.
Thing.
Because like, and I'm like, that's tamed. Okay, bye.
Okay.
I'm excited.
I mean, she jumps into it, but yeah, it's a little tame.
But it's not. It's not other things.
oh, I feel like I'm gonna go book shopping after this entire
I'm
conversation.
trying not to. Don't entice me.
I'm trying very hard not to either, but it's very
I have
hard
like
to
one
resist.
order left. I'm being super good.
I'm not being good at all. I buy books on the daily. It's such a bad,
I know.
so bad.
And I feel like with especially if it's a romance book, historical romance book, I'm like, it's not that expensive.
Right?
I don't know.
$1.
That's what I tell myself too. It's so
I
bad.
know.
I equate it
And
to
it
whatever
adds
I
up.
would have used it on in real life if we weren't in COVID. So I'm like, oh, if I was gonna spend for lunch today, this is exactly how much I would have spent anyway. Which is a bad
I love
way of
Yeah.
I look at my credit card total.
Yeah. Lisa, you posted a stack of books on your Instagram stories, and I was like, I have never felt so seen in my life. That is me, just stacks and stacks.
What stack? Which stack?
It was you just like, you're like, what is happening? And it was all of your historical romances on.
Like my books, like in the boxes? I don't think I unboxed it.
No, it was a picture of your bookshelves.
Oh,
It was, yeah.
that's years, baby. That's years of hard work right there. Like,
Do you see her closet behind her?
that is
I know.
amazing.
why are you calling it a closet, yo? Like, why are you gonna do like that? Like,
Closet
all my historical romances.
with books to the ceiling.
Yeah.
I know.
Like who
Well,
needs wall to ceiling shelves when you can just
Total
make
goals.
That's amazing.
it's a mess. Like, there's a corner here.
Oh God.
It's just back to the walls. Nobody sees it. I need to do a bookshelf tour, but I don't want to because my room's a mess. Goodbye.
Riley's reaction to your closet made me laugh.
What did it say? Wait, that's your closet? No, wait, hold up, guys. Everybody thinks no, that's my closet. That's my closet.
What is that then?
It's a bookshelf, right?
That's a room for another like another hanger thing.
Oh,
Okay.
that's true. That's a closet.
And then
So
it's
So it's still technically a closet, right?
Yeah.
When your clothes are outside and then your books are inside.
yo, I think the books matter. I have no style sense anyways. Wear the same thing twice in the same week. No, I'm joking. That's weird. But then
How do you
where
guys
your
organize it? Do you organize by color, by author, by series?
author?
Author.
Wherever
Does it
they
get-
fit.
I was about to say, does it get hard if you have to add a new book by an author that's already on one of the stacks?
Oh,
You
like
just
on
have
the bottom.
to play around with it.
You just have to keep.
Checklists every
If I
day.
don't, then I'll buy duplicates, like I always do.
Ah, makes sense.
I do that.
Yeah.
I need to like. Do any of you like have a digital list
Library
of all the books
spreadsheet.
you own? Yeah.
Oh,
I
no.
started one, but I have not finished.
I'm just like, I can't scan every book I own. Like, that's so much. And then I would know the number of books I own, and I'm like, I don't know that.
I don't. Yeah, I'd rather not know.
But
I have
Honestly, it's so anxiety inducing. I used to have one and then I just gave up on it because I was like unhauling all these books because I figured out
Yeah.
I really don't want to read these. And because I felt bad that I had all these books that I wasn't going to read or have not read. So it just don't. You don't need it. You're good.
I have an outdated list called historical romances I own. It's a shelf on my Goodreads, and it's really easy to scan with Goodreads app though. Like you literally just like one click and then
I
start
used to do
attach
that.
shelf. Yeah,
I
exactly.
tried, but I failed. I tried, but I
I
failed.
got tired of doing that.
I
Like,
know, me too.
Yeah.
maybe like one
That's
time
not-
later,
It's
I'm
been
like,
outdated. It's been outdated for like 2 years now. Duplicates galore, guys. Duplicates galore.
I also try to like stay updated like on reviews on Goodreads too, but I fail.
oh, it's okay. I've been failing at that.
That's everyone. Don't worry.
You guys just want to do like a quick rating, like this book sucks, and move on.
I put a rating, but then I tell myself I'm gonna come back and put like a full length review, and then never do. So my rating is there, but not the review.
That's
At
why
least
I
it's alright.
over explain in my videos because they're not for like my audience. They're for me to remember why I hated that book. So like I'm just listing off like everything for why I love that book.
I just put star ratings on my Goodreads. I don't really use Goodreads like everyone else does with like the shelves and whatever. I even deleted my to be read or I want to read books because I didn't want to keep track of 1,000 books that I wanted to read. So I just use Amazon wishlist now, and then I'll go through my Amazon wishlist and delete things because I'm like, if I'm not going to pay for you, obviously I'm not going to read you.
Mm.
So that just works better
Smart.
for me
That's a smart
and my
thing.
anxiety really
That makes
well.
sense. That makes sense.
I have a secret wish list with all the KU titles that nobody needs to see that I'm reading. Like, nobody needs
I was
to
about
know.
to say, at least I'm so upset I asked for your wish list and you said you didn't have one.
No, those are Kindle. Those are Kindle ones that from Kindle Unlimited that I'm not going to buy physical copies of because they're secret romances that
Like
nobody
the
needs to know.
chambermaid.
Yes. Alien invasion,
Jessica.
bare necessities.
We
whatever.
all have those. I have those on Scribd. Scribd has tons of like those short novellas.
Yes, people are like me too. Secret wish lists. We got to keep one clean for the people who want to buy gifts, and the other one for ourselves. It's danger.
I did that.
There are so many books that I read and then I just don't want to tell anyone that I read them, but it's usually webtoons and comics and things like that. And I'll tell Lisa, or not Lisa, but Lacey. But like I won't tell anyone else. And people are like, you should put it on your Instagram. I'm like, I'm embarrassed. I don't want to.
Yeah, I
No,
mean,
share it.
wild.
So wrong, but so right. You're right. It's so wrong. I can't explain myself without sounding crazy, so it's fine.
It's okay.
Do you have people in like real life who friend you on Goodreads, and then you're like, oh god, they're gonna see everything I read?
Yes, I have people from like my church who follow me, and I'm like, and like my church started like a book club that was supposed to like give each other books and stuff, and I'm like, can I give my pastor a historical romance?
Recommend you this one. Recommend you Priest. Like,
No.
Oh my gosh, no.
not that one.
I draw the line at priest romances. I cannot.
Yeah,
No, I can't.
I can't
I tried
read
to
mine.
have
man.
one, and I
I'm
couldn't
gonna,
do it.
I'm gonna make you read it someday, Jess.
I can't.
No, God's watching me. God's like, what are you doing? No, my friends literally call me out during dinner in public and going like, every time I just go on Goodreads to go find like a literature novel, I just see shirtless men because you're updating like your reads. So like the really spicy ones, I have to mute those ones to not show up on timelines.
Yeah,
So
like sometimes I'll go
You
to my
can mute
settings.
them?
Yeah.
I didn't know you could mute them.
like exit
I'll
them
go
so
to
it
my
doesn't show.
settings and like
Yeah.
unclick the show my friends whenever I add a book to my shelf sometimes. When
I didn't know you could do that.
I didn't know that
Yeah.
either.
But
Yes,
don't
we do
worry,
that.
you got creepers like me that go into your reading challenges and look for titles. Everything is open. I stalked Jessica and Lacey's Goodreads for a good like hot minute for 2 weeks one time, where I'm just like, "What are you guys reading?"
I always do that. Yeah, I always want to see what your guys' reviews are to see if I'm going to read a book.
Exactly. I thumbs up like the books that I'm currently reading, where I see like a review from 2012 from like Jessica. I'm like, "Yep, that's the one I'm reading right now." And she's probably like, "What are you doing?"
I probably wouldn't even like it anymore if I read it 8 years ago.
Wow.
I mean, you never know. Could still
Yeah.
hold up.
She doesn't read books.
Ever?
No.
Never? Not even like your absolute favorite book?
No.
Wow.
I do. I have started like listening to them. So
Okay,
like
yeah.
some Colin Hoover, I've been listening to on audio after reading it like 5 years ago. So, but I don't like to sit. I have so many books to read that I
That's
feel like
fair.
I
Like
can't.
sometimes like you get in a slump and then
Like
rereading.
a nostalgic feeling?
No,
Not even
Yeah, I
part.
reread
just love
books
it so much that I want to reread it.
Lacey rereads like scenes, and I was like, how do you even
Me
remember?
too. I
Yeah.
do
I
too.
do too.
Yeah,
But
I will
I
literally just
annotate
go back.
them.
Like
So
the
I'll,
yeah,
like,
exactly. Me
Put little
too.
marks of my favorite scenes, and then I'll go back and just read my favorite
Mhm.
scenes instead of
Yeah,
rereading the entire book.
Highlight it on my
Same.
ebook and just go straight
oh
to that
no.
scene.
It's always bookmarked, and I'm like, this is one scene. Here's another scene, and I know exactly what's happening in every scene just from the first, like whatever shows up in the bookmark, and I'm like, this is the one I want.
Yeah,
I think The Secret is one of the ones I do that with a lot, actually, and Ransom, which is not surprising. Not
Yeah.
a lot of people follow me in real, like on Goodreads that I know in real life, which is a good thing. But on Instagram, a lot of people follow me on there. And the funnier part to me is like sometimes I'll post. I mostly post the YA stuff. It's very rare lately that I've done the historicals because they're all on Kindle, and I find it hard to take photographs of mine. So I rarely talk about it. But I do have friends who like they're not like close friends, but they're like people I knew from college or people I knew from, and they're like, so I've been reading romance lately. And I'm like, oh wait, what do you want? Recommendations? Because I'll give you an entire list. It's funny to find out who wants the romance recommendations sometimes, because they're like people I wouldn't think would read historical romance because they never seem like the type. And then they'll be like, yeah, I read this one. It's usually a Lisa Kleypas one, which I'm always excited about. And then I'm like, okay, I have some more. And then you could go watch these people. They have more.
Yeah, Lisa Kleypas is a good introduction to historical romance.
Cheers.
Her and Tessa Dare, I definitely recommend to people.
Oh yeah, Tessa Dare's a good one for people who are new to it,
Yeah.
especially.
Yeah.
I think. One of my
Sarah
favorites.
McLean too. Sarah McLean's really good.
Oh yeah.
I feel like a lot of people talk about her new series, but her older series, what's it
Love
called?
by Numbers. That series.
Yes,
I love that series.
that series.
I
Nine
love
Rules to
her.
Break.
Yeah. Oh my god.
What is it
Is that
called?
the second one? The one with like a rogue
She's
by any
so
other
good
name?
on Twitter. Yeah. Like Sarah. Sarah's so good on Twitter. And she's the one that recommended, well, she didn't recommend it to me specifically, but she recommended it to like her followers, the Joanna Shoup series, the Fifth Avenue series that Jessica was talking about. So I was like, add to cart. Proceed to checkout. Check, buy now, done.
Yeah, she finds like really slutty ones too that I
Sophie Jordan.
Yeah.
I love Sophie.
I have.
Oh yeah. I
I
forgot.
bought her new one, but I haven't read it.
Oh, I haven't read that one either.
Reread it and liked it. Lacey, didn't you read this?
I
And
really loved it.
what's your thoughts?
I haven't read a single Sophie Jordan book, but I
Neither
met her
have
at a Polycon, so I feel bad.
Aw.
Yeah, I
What do
wish
you
I said
say?
hi.
Like, what do you say to an author that you never read before?
You
She
pretend
was
you
like
read the
super
book.
sweet and chatty, so she already knew what to say to me. I feel like some of them already know that everyone, or not everyone, but a lot of people are introverts. Like I'm super anxious and awkward, so they'll just say things to start conversation. I think she talked about other authors that she really liked there.
Yeah.
And she was just super sweet throughout the entire thing. And she gave out cookies. So I like her a lot.
Oh,
She's so
A
nice.
plus for her.
Yeah.
I love cookies. That's all I've
Look.
been eating during quarantine, cookies.
It's a good thing to eat.
Do you make them yourself or do you buy?
Buy. Well, I buy like the pre-made dough and make like the pizookie
I burned
in, like,
those.
a cast iron pan
Oh, that
Yeah.
sounds so good.
with a vanilla
burned
ice cream.
That sounds amazing.
Oh, with ice cream too? You fancy.
You have to make the whole pizookie. It has to be a whole experience.
Oh my
True.
god. You're doing girl, I need to take lessons. Like,
Oh, Lisa, how have your cookie adventures going? I see you put them on your stories
Keep
all the
burning
time.
just keep
Oh,
burning.
okay.
Straight up, just straight to the trash. Open oven, put it in the trash. Just like I was like, aren't those the ones that you just like keep it in the oven? And I'm like, yeah,
It was
they're
like
either raw and burnt or raw and raw. Like,
Hey,
Okay.
raw cookie dough is bomb though.
oh, that's weird though.
What?
You don't eat raw
cookie dough?
No,
Oh, I love raw cookie dough.
with
There's literally an ice cream
look at
that is
Lisa's face. She's like,
raw cookie dough.
Yeah, there's egg. I don't care.
Yeah, I'm not risking that.
I mean,
I've been eating it my whole life, and I've never
you
had.
watch Lizzie McGuire?
I'm fine.
Did you used to watch Lizzie McGuire?
Of course.
Yeah.
And there's
Well,
an
yeah.
episode where she was training and she had to drink a whole glass of eggs.
Oh God, it's been so
Oh.
long. I don't remember that one.
Okay, fine. There was an episode where somebody drank a whole glass of eggs. That's Jessica. All right.
Yeah.
That's so random. So sorry, guys. Moving on.
You can eat cookie dough without eggs in it though.
They
Like,
do.
because a lot of people like doing it raw, so now they don't
Yeah.
put eggs
Raw.
in it
Yeah.
if you
Yeah.
want to try it.
And they have like ice cream that tastes like cookie dough, so
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
the raw
Oh, yeah.
cookie dough is still superior for sure.
Yes.
Oh, what am I?
How was your week, guys? How was your week? Tell me about your lives. Tell me about your lives. Because this is the first time I sat down with Desiree, Samantha, and Alexa. So, like, tell me, how was your day or week?
Huh, mediocre.
True.
That's how my week has been.
Anything special happening? Anything special happened?
This live show.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, this is kind of like the highlight of the week. You know,
Same.
COVID kind of left me jobless, so
Right.
I
Aw.
read
Oh,
and I
no.
watch shows. No, it's fine, guys.
Sorry
I
to
was a
hear that.
substitute.
Still,
Oh, okay.
It's
Yeah.
totally fine. I'm blessed. I live at home. I don't live in an apartment or anything, so it's not like I'm struggling. I'm not doing anything.
You're
except reading. Except
I'm reading.
reading.
Have more time
And buying
to
more
focus on
books.
what matters, which is J-pop. Am I not? That's truth, though. So,
You know what? COVID also stopped all of J-pop activities. Like they're not doing music shows or anything. Like all of their releases got pushed back. So I'm barely on Twitter because there's nothing new. Like
Guess it's all that
Yeah.
books are all you have right now.
Yeah.
yeah.
books, TV shows.
It's a good thing your TBR is like long,
It's
and that you
super
have lots
long.
of options.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've just been working from home this past week, so that's nice that I've been able to work from home.
That's
But
cool.
next week I have to go back in the office.
No,
What do you do?
Yeah. They put us like on teams. So like 1 week we're not working in the office and the next week
Okay.
we're in the office. But my
Oh,
I
department's
got
really small. We're only like there's only like 6 of us, so it's fine. It's fine. We just
Oh,
sit
okay,
far
that's
away
pretty
from each
good.
other. Yeah.
That's
sit
good.
very
Yeah.
far away.
and
I work in fraud, like card fraud.
Ah.
Yeah.
Cars.
Card, like your debit card.
Oh, car.
Like a credit card.
Okay.
Yeah.
I
yeah.
thought it was car. I thought you said car too.
That would be more
Exciting.
exciting.
Down that steal cars and
Yeah. Highway speed chases. That's my job. We'll say that's my job.
What's that game that is with the cars? Like the
Grand Theft
Grand Theft
Auto?
Auto.
yeah, Grand Theft Auto. Like I thought it was gonna be like that. And I was like, wait, what? Okay.
Well, I've been playing a lot of Animal Crossing. If we're
Me
talking about
too.
games.
Man, I'm
It's
jealous.
not. It's not healthy. At this
No,
point.
it's really bad.
It's
really
bad. That's where all my reading time has gone.
Listen to audiobooks while you
about
play.
it.
I have been, except that I'm
Okay.
really slow because I'm listening to. What am I listening to right now? Oh, I'm listening to the last Illuminate book. I was like, what am I listening to now anymore?
Not Gemini. What's the third one?
Obsidia.
Obsidia. Mhm.
Which,
That one's good.
It is. But I really like the second one. So the third one's kind of.
How is that listening to those?
It's good.
Oh, those are so great.
They're like.
so good.
I actually think they're not. I hesitate to say better in audio because I know a lot of people actually like the physical because of the formatting. But I think the audio is making it a reading experience that I like personally. Does that make sense? Because if I hadn't listened to it, I genuinely don't think I would have continued after Illuminate. Like, I think I would have stopped. Which would have been a shame.
Listen and read it together?
Yes, I had the physical book next to me, and then every time I flipped the page and I saw that it wasn't what I was listening to, I was like, okay, let me just look at this page, then I go by. That's why it's taking me so long to read it.
Do you guys buy all of your audiobooks, or do you use like a streaming service, like an app?
I sometimes borrow mine from the library, and then sometimes Scribd, because they'll usually have what I want. It's very rare that I will buy them.
I've never bought an audio.
Because they're expensive.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're
I feel like I don't have it, so like why am I spending like $8 on?
And like, are you really gonna listen to it again too? Like, you know, unless you're like an actual like
and what if
audiobook
you hate
reader.
the narrator?
Oh my God, I hate
that changes everything. That changes everything.
That's why you sample, you know?
Oh, true.
I don't even remember
audiobooks. I like I'm subscribed to Audible. Yeah. I do like the every other month a credit thing. So it's not like that expensive, but yeah, I've bought audiobooks. I re-listen to some audios, but mainly I use Libby now through my library, and it's like so good.
I need to try that. I haven't used Libby before.
Audios. Is there a limit?
Yeah, for mine it's 15.
Oh, okay.
Well, that's pretty good.
That's
versus
good.
like Scribd. Scribd is only like 5 or 6.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Per month.
I always get cut off at some point because I'm like, oh, you're listening to too many.
For audiobooks,
like
Scribd also has per month, but
Oh.
Scribd has a ton of ebooks that is like you unlimited, but the audiobooks is only like maybe 5 a month.
Oh,
really?
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
They claim to be unlimited, but then they cut you off.
They cut you off, They say it's not available until like the next month.
Yeah, I feel like a few years ago, people were saying it was 10 a month that you could do on Scribd. I feel like they're getting more expensive with less access. So they're kind of not worth it for me unless they're having a deal.
Yeah.
The only thing that makes it worth it for me is that they have a lot of ebooks too on there. But I guess Kindle Unlimited, you could just use that one too.
Yeah. I switched to KU at the start of this year also, or like I activated it and I'm like, okay, this is the greatest thing that's ever happened to me, but also the worst.
Yeah.
My TBR just like, okay, you're ignoring the rest of us now.
I do have Audible Escape on top of my KU, but I might cancel that next month because I've been using my library a lot for historicals. So, and they don't have a lot of historicals. They have a lot of indie stuff, which I like, but then they keep on recommending the same authors to me over and over again. It's like, I don't want to listen to another LJ Shen book. You can stop letting her to me, please. Do they like pay for that advertising? Because literally every time I open up Audible Escape, it's like, listen to LJ Shen. And I'm like, no.
I mean, I think you'd have to pay for that kind of marketing.
Yeah, it would make sense if they did.
Yeah.
Because that's a little in your face.
Yeah, I've been using Libby.
It's like recommended for you.
Yeah, I've been using.
I know.
How long is your guys' hold on library books for Libby? Do you know?
21 days.
Yeah, there's like, like how long you can take it or how long it waits.
Yeah, how long you can keep it. Yeah.
21 is the longest for me.
Yeah, 3 weeks.
Okay. So over here in my library, it's 14, and like I get heavy anxious about stuff that I know I can't keep, so I just don't use my library that
You guys have
often.
Boomerang or like the skip the line copies?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, those keep me anxious. Those are like only
Well, then
7.
you only have 7 days.
So you're like, let's listen to it now. And you're like,
I can't.
Like, hit it.
I'm a mood reader, so
Exact
I would feel
reason
too
I deleted
anxious.
my Goodreads shelf because I get like super anxious about things. I'm like, I should read it all right now, but I can't read it because I'm only human, and like you start spiraling. So like I just can't. I can't do that.
Oh. I agree with Riley's comment about historical romance narrators. Sometimes they do sound like they're older, and it makes it weird to listen to.
I don't think I've ever had one with an old narrator.
They sound.
I've only get
trying to
ones
think
that
of
with
them-
like posh British accents, and that's fabulous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's just
yeah.
great.
That sounds much better to me. I can't even remember the last one I tried listening to, but I know I was like, nope, I'm just going to read it physically because I can't.
Oh,
Is she
Gentle
talking about
Rogue is
female
like that.
narrators?
Sorry, what?
Is she talking about female narrators or male narrators?
Female narrator. Okay. I've never had one with a male narrator.
Yeah, me
What?
either. But I mean, sometimes they'll have like, what is not tag team,
Yeah, like the
Dual?
multiple narrators. Yeah.
Multiple
Yeah.
point of view.
I've never
The
had
Highwayman is a male narrator, and his voice
Is
is
it?
very, very sexy. Very sexy.
Good to know.
Lacey just listened to it, but Zenny by Rebecca Weatherspoon.
Zenny.
It's an American girl, a Scottish guy, and a British
With a
narrator.
British male narrator.
Like, what is
Yeah.
Are any
no.
of them those like British or Scottish?
No, I mean, he's English. The
Scottish.
narrator has an English accent, but the hero is Scottish.
And
He
it's like
does do
so
a
weird.
good Scottish accent for him, but the rest of the time he's like English.
And he did
That's
sound
so
older. That
interesting.
narrator was an older.
Oh my god! And then like every time he said again, he would say again, and it would like throw me off.
Do you ever notice if the narrators are breathing?
Yes.
Yes.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
I'll hear them breathing, and I'm like, why are you breathing so low? But it's very rare. Like, I'll just get to a narrator, and then I can hear them like taking breaths, and I'm like,
Sorry that they have to
out.
to read.
Like, I don't notice it
Like,
I feel like they normally cut it off.
I hear the
Yeah.
page. Like I hear the page flip.
Oh,
What?
sometimes I do that too.
I've
Really?
never heard that.
I
That's
sometimes
because I have
wonder
really
if,
bad audio
like,
though.
a section is different.
I don't know. I don't hear it that often, but maybe it's because I listen to the audiobooks really fast.
I do too,
Oh,
and I
on
still hear
Oh,
it.
really?
Yeah.
Maybe
You know an
it's
audiobook that has it?
it.
An audiobook I remember hearing both breathing and the page flipping was Dirty Letters with Vi Keelan.
Oh,
And
I
yeah,
listened
but
to
you have
that,
to
but I don't
really
remember.
listen.
I hear.
Yeah,
I don't remember that.
I remember the breathing and I remember hearing him like flip the page and I'm just like, I'm out of it now because
A narrator changes everything. It can like
That's true.
change the whole experience. I'll
I'm
stop
sorry.
the
Yeah.
entire audiobook if I'm not like jiving with the
Yeah.
narrator.
Like I always bring it up, but like The Deal by Elle Kennedy, before the current narrator, they had like a really old woman narrating both point of views, and it was the worst narration I've ever heard.
I can't
I
even
hate
imagine.
I hate when like girls will narrate and when they get to the guy's voice, they talk in like very deep. Like,
Yes, or they talk at
Yeah.
different speeds. So you're like fine at one speed with like the girl, and then the guy starts talking like 10 times faster, and you're like, wait a second. I get so angry.
yeah, same.
Which do you guys prefer, where the male narrator does a female voice or when a female narrator does a male voice? Because I feel like male narrators doing female voices just never works. And it's
Yeah.
always
The female ones do it better.
Weird.
yeah.
Because they go too high pitched when they try to like
Yes.
mimic a girl
Yeah.
voice. Yeah.
Yeah, it's weird. Wait, what about the hot scenes? Like the hot scenes, like
What about him?
They're there.
when it's 3 times the speed, you know? And you're like, oh, this might be going too fast, you know? It's like the contemporary ones, they make the sound effects. And I'm like, wow.
Like the moaning? Like the moaning?
Yeah.
No, they don't make
yeah,
like
the
specific
grunting.
sound effects.
I mean,
I
it's
don't
not
think
like
I had any that have had
weird.
sound.
Yeah,
I'm
no
trying to think
weird
of any of
sounds.
them.
No.
Yeah. No.
Oh, for me, I don't know why. Like the ones that like they just keep having it. I'm just like, okay. But historical
Interesting.
audiobooks for historical romances are so good though for those hot chili pepper scenes. Like they read it so well, and you're just like,
Is it
Keep
because
it
of the
together,
accent?
you're
It's
at
because of the
work.
accent.
It's because of the accents.
Yeah.
You can say anything in a British accent and it makes it 10 times better.
True.
I mean,
Yeah.
yes.
Except for Zenny.
That sounds like a lot.
You guys listen on.
I'm at
1.25.
2.5.
That's as fast as I can go.
That is so fast. I can only do 1.5. Sometimes 2. It just depends on how slow the narrator is talking, I think.
Mm-hmm.
I'm on
Yeah.
I'm on 3.
Yeah.
That's
I'm
impressive.
on 2. Yeah, I'm on 2. I usually start at like 1.25, and then when I get used to their accent, then I'll go to 2 towards like the end of the book. But no, I don't go higher than 2.
I don't know when people say when they're working their way up to the 2 and the 3 speed, how they're working their way up, because as soon as I switch over to anything higher, my anxiety is just through the roof and I can't do it.
Yeah. It's only like if they have a heavy accent, I want to make sure like I can understand what they're saying.
Yeah, that's true. Accents
Yeah,
I have to like lower.
I do too. Yeah.
Lower, like
If they have
full
a
speed ahead.
heavy one, I'm like, all right, lower down.
Because then I'm just like, what are you saying?
That depends if I start reading the audiobook like right in the morning when I just woke up, then like I'm not gonna pay attention to it, so it needs to go slower. Or else I'm gonna miss the whole setup of the book.
Mm-hmm.
I usually only increase if I'm not liking a book and I want to get it over with.
That's fair.
So I'm like, all right, let's just go to 3.
Do you ever skip an audiobook? Like, do you ever like skim through it?
Yes, I have.
Oh, do you? I would get so confused.
Yeah,
Because I'm just not into it. So I'm like, all right, let's just go to a different chapter, the next
I
chapter.
really skim audiobooks too, but yeah, I agree, Samantha. Like you just miss a bunch, but then like sometimes they're just like they're so bad, and you're just like, okay, let's go.
Yeah,
I have such a trouble like skipping or DNF books. I always think like, what if something amazing happens and I miss it?
I always
that's why I skim. Like
I can't.
I don't like DNFing, but I'll skim to the end to see what happens.
No, I'll DNF if I'm not feeling a book, and then I'll just read the ending just to see what happened, and that's it. I'm just like, it's good. I know.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but I think that's why I'm gonna have to do with Julia Quinn's books, like
Which
the
is
last
fair.
two.
I wouldn't even be mad about it. This is why now that I've reread it, I can actually tell you where I'm like, just skip that one and read the others. If I had known you were reading them, I would have just been like, read this one, and this one. You can skip the others.
Yeah, I've been reading it for the entire month.
Yeah. If
When
it's like
Lacey told me she
fantasy,
skips to the end, I was horrified. I've never skipped to the end of any book. I just DNF and never know how it ended.
That always leaves me with questions, even though I know it's probably like
I
want
to know what
ending.
happened.
Right? If it's romance, you know they get together.
I mean,
True.
not exactly the epilogue, but like, how they get together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, but I skim to the end.
Yeah, that's what I do.
I'm like, all right, page 200, now page 342.
Yeah.
I was about to ask, define skimming, because people say skimming, and I'm always wondering what that means. Is that fast reading, or you skip like 100 pages? Like,
read the dialogue.
Yeah, the dialogue. I'll read the dialogue.
Do you guys ever like if something like a climax of the book, like the characters are arguing or something, and you're like, I need to make sure that they're together. I need to make sure things are okay. So you skip just a couple chapters to make sure it's the
I don't do that because it's a romance.
You know they're gonna be together.
Yeah, that's why.
And that's when you're like, wait, which one does she go with?
Oh, like a love triangle. Yeah, true.
Yeah.
I don't skip chapters. I'll skip like not the page, but like to the bottom of the page to see that they're okay in the fight, and then I'll go back up because you're like they're at like the climax. You're like, is this gonna be okay? And then you go down or like the next page just to make sure, and then you go.
Yeah,
I
get emotionally invested. I need to make sure my characters are gonna pull through.
Yeah, but I've never skipped chapters. I don't know how y'all do that. You're amazing.
I mean, I'll skip to the next chapter. If the chapter that I'm reading is boring.
Do you guys go back to books that you DNF, or you DNF it and it's done? Like you're not going to go back.
I'm sure I've gone back. I just don't remember specifically which one.
I think I've gone back once or twice, but usually I've just given up at that point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would too. I don't go back. There are
Sometimes
other books.
Read them.
True, that's fair.
There are too
Do you
many.
count a DNF on your Goodreads challenge, and at what point do you count it?
Hell yeah.
No, I don't.
I don't
I
know.
do if I'm pretty far into it.
I think if you're over 50, like sometimes I'll consider it if I'm over halfway through it. But if I'm earlier than that, like if I'm 10 or 20%, I'm like, nah, it's fine.
Yeah.
I don't need to know.
Yeah.
I count if it's over 50 because I've made it
Yeah,
far
You
enough.
basically read.
Yeah.
Heard enough, and I deserve this number.
Do you rate it if you DNF it?
No.
Yeah. Okay, so I rate my DNFs and I account towards my reading challenges.
Do you give them all the same rating? Like, do
Just
you just
like a
give them like
1 star?
a 1 star?
Usually 2. Like I'm like, oh, I'm bored.
What do you give a 1 star?
I know. I was about to be like, so that's a 2 star.
One is like personally offensive, and like I have to take the book,
I agree with
throw it
that.
against the wall,
Okay.
and be like, I don't
That's
need
fair.
this in my life. This is not
Yeah.
a good book. And the injustice of it when people say it's a good book,
Just
I'm like, no,
wrong.
it's not. Let me tell you why.
I feel like I gave one book a 1 star this year. Maybe it was 2 because I felt like I was being nice. Where did my phone go? Because I was texting Lacey about this. It was so bad. It was so god awful.
Was it independently published or was it like traditional?
Yeah. Okay, let me find it first because it's something that no one's ever heard of. It's like, you know, at the bowels of Kindle. I can find it. And Lacey will remember I was texting her about it at like 3 a.m. and was like, why am I even reading this garbage?
Why am I reading this garbage?
It was so bad. I wanted something that was in that realm,
Okay.
and it was not it. Okay, how far back did I read this? Oh, here it is. Okay, 1 star. It's called A Swan for Christmas by M.M. Wild. I don't know what I was thinking at 3 a.m.
What was it about?
And my cat
Oh,
was
I'm like,
like,
what is it? Like, what's the story
okay,
about?
so it's a Megaverse book. So basically, it's like impreg. If it's like putting it simply, and one of them's a swan shifter, and the other one, what the heck was he? I don't remember. I forget. There's another.
Werewolf?
I don't think he was a werewolf. Was he?
I don't know. I'm guessing because, like, usually when it's in a megaverse, one of them is a
I
werewolf.
read one where someone was a
was.
polar bear shifter, and I was like, what? A polar bear?
That's like the honey badger shifter romances.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, there was like a polar bear, a squirrel. I was like, who wants to be a squirrel?
Okay, so there was a squirrel in there too, but he's a werewolf. Okay, so it's a werewolf. And
Oh, so it is a werewolf.
Yeah. And it was so god awful. I was reading it and I was like, okay, I've read a Megaverse in manga before and I love it. It's so good. It's a lot of fun. Yeah, it's very interesting, but like for whatever reason, I don't like it in novels and books. And this was just like the catalyst of why it's not good. So basically he's in the forest and as a swan and he doesn't know that he's
He's a swan.
Oh, I thought the girl was the swan this entire time.
It's male.
Great.
Oh, got it.
okay.
Got it. That explains it. Okay. I was like, okay.
Yeah, and like
So it's a
doesn't
male swan and a
compete,
male
then,
wolf.
like the werewolf pulls him into like his. I think he has a bed and breakfast, and he starts working at the bed and breakfast. Like the whole story itself is normal, but like the events that happen are just so strange and weird. It was
Give
a
me an
lot.
I like want to read it now.
Unpack it. No.
So it's spoilery, but the example that I can give is like when he's having his child, it's an egg, and like they go into like very specific detail of how that happens, and then he gets very protective when anyone comes around his eggs, so he's snapping his teeth and flapping his arms, and I was like.
That's so strange.
It was awful. I hated it.
Do you like shifter romances though?
Do I like what?
Do you like shifter romances or like the
I like
shifters?
shifter stuff. It was just like this, whatever that was not it. Like
that ain't it.
Yeah.
No.
I don't know what I was thinking when I was like click at 3 a.m. But you know what? We're here.
3 a.m. choice.
I make a lot of bad decisions at 3 a.m. and Lacey knows because I text her before I do them.
Yeah, she's texting me and it's midnight for me. So I'm up. And I'm like,
And you're like,
what are
okay.
you reading?
Don't do
And I'm like,
it.
oh, making this bad decision. She's like, Desiree, don't. And I'm like, but I could though.
But I'm going to anyways. I gave it 1 star recently. So I read Hearts of Flame first and I gave that a 4 star. But Fires of Winter, I gave it 1 star.
Oh no.
It was just, I don't like blurred consent unless it's like what's that Katie Roberts book, Jessica, that you talked about?
Consent.
Your dad will
That's
do.
great. Desperate Measures. So
Yeah.
like that one is like non-consent, but consent, right? Like you have like a whole conversation. It's consensual, but this one was just like blurred consent the entire time, and I wasn't feeling it.
No, that's never.
Yeah.
I'm never comfortable with that.
Yeah, it was just a little too problematic. So, but it's so weird. Like one book from an author was like a 4-star, and the other was like a 1-star.
I was about to ask, how do you guys feel about the blurred consent? Because I know a lot of people aren't okay with it. For me, it just depends on the situation, I think. I don't know how to explain when it's okay versus when it's not for me, but sometimes I'm just like, it's okay with me. I don't.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I get that. Because like Hearts of Flame, they had some areas where it's like, was it consensual? And then like they played it. They they tiptoed. And there was like freaking like almost rape scenes in there too as well that we were like, wait, is this the hero? Like, is this the hero?
It was not the hero.
Yeah.
That's not a romance. Oh, but that was Kathleen Edelweiss's book.
Kathleen Woodowis.
Woodowis?
Oh, I have one of hers. This
What's
one?
that book?
Oh, The Flame and the Flower.
Oh,
Flame
this
and the
is The Wolf and the Dove.
I
Okay,
have that one in a different cover. Let me find it.
I got
Flame
this one
and the
because
Flower.
of Lacey. You talked about
No.
this one, right, Lacey?
I didn't read it,
Oh.
but I have
I just hear you talk about something, and I'm like, add to cart.
Just
Yes,
assume.
okay.
Oh,
She has
I
a
like
new
her cover better.
Yeah, I really like this cover.
I
Wait,
actually,
okay.
yeah, that's a good cover.
think I
Mine
have
is
the
weird.
pretty.
It's a castle, and then like in the corner, there's the people, like right here. Okay, wait, it's backwards because it's the
I have no idea where my camera is, so I'm just like trying to figure it out.
No,
But yeah, I
you're,
really
yeah,
like
I can say.
You're
Yeah.
good.
I like her dress.
Yeah, it's
on
like
that
super
cover.
pretty. And then like Lisa told me she didn't like this author, and I'm like, oh no, I already have 4 of her books.
I have a bunch, but I haven't read it.
The first one had a rape scene, and that
Which
was a
one?
romance.
the
That was
flower.
The flame and the flower one.
Oh,
Yeah.
I have that one too.
That was the romance. The romance was
Yeah.
between.
I mean,
person-
these old books.
Yeah,
These old books.
They are.
Yeah.
this one
Yeah,
was
you have to take a
published
chance.
in
Yeah.
1974. So
Yeah, they're old.
The first historical romance published. I read it for the historical romance readathon, trying to make a video about it, but I kept ranting on and on. I'm like, I'm not editing this, and I just deleted it. So I'm never gonna. I never did a historical romance wrap up. I never did that video. I just gave up. I gave up. That's me.
This is one of the books though where I will say the print is so tiny, not
Yeah.
sure if I'll ever be able to read it. Like
Yeah.
And they're
oh my
huge,
god,
too.
it is.
That is pretty small.
it's like a
No,
textbook.
but I feel like her writing is like once you start, you're just intrigued. So you ignore the fact that the font size is so small. So I feel like you're okay unless
It's like
you're like
500 pages.
Yeah.
That's pretty long.
Mm-hmm.
If my edition's
Oh.
the same. Yeah.
that book I was
Yeah.
talking about for 400 pages. Nothing happened. Like nothing. Just gave up. Just like they're traveling on a ship.
Super popular.
I'm like,
though.
all right.
What did you say, Jessica?
I feel like The Flame and the Flower is really popular.
Yeah.
I looked at the reviews of all her books, and she has like a really dedicated following, it feels like. So I don't know which one's the super
Her
popular
average
one.
ratings are pretty high.
Yeah, when I posted The Wolf and the Dove on my Instagram, a lot of people said that they liked it.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
got
they were
mixed
forthcoming.
on what people said when I posted it.
I'm like,
What are tropes that you guys like don't read, like you just can't stand?
is there anything well,
No. I read whatever.
Everything.
I mostly go in blind when I'm reading historical romances, which is like a weird thing to say.
No,
I
yeah,
do too. I don't
I'll
like
do
it.
the same. Yeah.
So sometimes I won't, like, unless someone has specifically talked about it recently and said what the trope was, that's the only time I'll know. But most of the time I'll forget and I'll just be like, I'm just going to read this one because I like the title or I feel like reading this author. So I actually, most of the time will read something, although whenever it's sort of like that weird, murky, dubious consent. And like, I'll maybe consider stopping it. Like at some point, if I get to, like, if I feel like it's not worth reading till the end, then I won't continue it. But I think that's probably the only thing that I don't like historical romance wise. I think that's the only thing that I really like won't read, that and rape scenes, because that doesn't necessarily appeal to me.
Yeah, for sure. I used to not like second chance romances, but then I read Again the Magic, and it just changed my whole view on everything.
Yes.
Made you believe.
It did. It did.
I think I tend to read the synopsis for historicals, and if it says that he's a rake and he's like been through so many women or whatever, it kind of just turns me off from the whole story, because I feel like how many times have I seen that in the synopsis? I can read something else. Not that I won't read it, but it's just kind of like, well, that's a dime a dozen. On to the next.
Yeah, I agree. That's true.
Yeah.
Oh, you're very selective. I like that.
I can only read so fast.
No, but that's great.
But that's good though.
End up like me. That's self-control I need. That's strong power, like that I don't have.
I prefer not to read, but like I don't know until I read it if like the main characters separate or whatever, or they have some arranged marriage and the hero has mistresses, you know?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So he's having his fun and she's just at home doing nothing. So I hate when that happens.
Those aren't fun.
Not a fan.
Or if they don't grovel enough, Lacey.
Yes.
Oh yes, bravo.
All right. Well, it is getting late. We've been on here for quite a while.
Yeah.
But thank you for joining me. This was a lot of fun.
Yeah,
Thank you to everybody for watching. We will definitely have to do this again sometime.
Yeah.
Everybody is linked down below, so make sure you follow everybody.
Let's be
below in
friends.
the description box. Yes.
Please.
All of us talk about historical romances all the time. So read them all the time.
Yes, we do.
Yes, yes.
All right.
Bye, guys.
Bye. Have a good night.
Good night.